Stand by.
Your shirt makes me
Okay,
think of the movie The Game.
ladies and hold on. I like to give it a couple of seconds because. Okay,
So it doesn't have you in mid-word.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spoken and Heard live via Kickbutt live stream and Kickbutt YouTube and Spoken and Heard live stream Facebook pages as well. I'm Ernie B, and here's your host, Lost in Thought, and the lovely Hot Tamale.
Ernie, oh my God!
What was
Did
that?
you take your 5 hour? God,
What are you talking about?
wake up! Woo! Okay, we are here. We are live via Kickbutt YouTube channel and Facebook. What's happening? Kickbutt! You're about to witness the baddest open mic in the ATX, spoken and heard live every Sunday night at Kickbutt Coffee, Music, and Booze. That's right, this is not your average ordinary coffee shop. We do have a full bar. And behind the bar tonight, we have the badass himself, Jacob, who will keep you fed, caffeinated, and buzzed. But please stuff that tip jar with plenty of dead presidents. Thanks to COVID, and Austin's already expensive as it is, we need to meet our bills, people. Dead presidents, you know, if you've got like an irritating $50 bill that you just got to get rid of, you're like, it keeps falling out of my wallet. It's really fucking annoying. What do I do? Get rid of it. Put it in Jacob's tip jar. He'll love you for it. He might actually, I don't know. Jacob, what would you do for $50?
What would you do for
Oh,
a
that's
Klondike
cold.
That's just an open-ended question. I wouldn't do that. Sorry, Jacob. Okay. So,
And I will also say, since we're opening back up, I know I've said it a few times, but enacting still the rule of masks. Of course, you don't have to wear a mask if you're eating, and also just when you wear a mask, make sure your mask is covering your entire face. And of course, I'm going to also stress social distancing. But you know what that also reminds me though? So I was watching Comedy Central one time, right? And there was one thing of the big movie, and it was on television, and they went through the same rules as the theater, and they said, "We're sorry, but there can be no babies crying or smoking in your living room."
Okay, that's 2 for 2, man, that you completely bombed out.
come on, man.
I'm trying to stick some. I'm trying to not to be like
Lost in thought. How long have you been doing this? You've been doing this longer than me. Come on, man. Reel it in. Get it together.
Yes.
So, to start off the night, we have the Wonder from Down Under, the Mad Max of merch, the Pied Piper of poetry himself. Give it up for Tom Moonbird.
Mama, my mama, here we go. How nice to see live people in a live audience. Love comes in like Leonard Cohen, hesitant, unsure in this new electoral war. Love wants to say, open up all those cages so families might no longer be separated. Love wants no guns, no drums, no uniform. Love rejects the arguments for armies and corrupt police and listens to librarians and other lovers. Love learns rather than teaches. Example is everything. Love misses Ruth Bader Ginsburg but wants her work continued. Love remembers with respect and reverence those gone from us, but can only really play with the living tonight. This is candles, altars, tears, and incense. Right now, love is working for change in
What happened?
on the ballot.
Oh, did he go somewhere?
No, you're still there. You dropped out for a second,
Well-
Tom. Continue.
And wisdom. So welcome to your wonderful live show tonight, as well as online with poets waiting in the wonderful wings.
Honestly, Tom, that made me think of that 80s song "Love Comes Quickly." I can't sing
Yeah.
it because we would get stung with copyright. I would love
At
it.
least-
Love comes.
They can't-
That's it. 2
Yeah.
seconds. I can't do anymore. It's the Pet Shop
Okay.
Boys. Love comes quickly. But okay. Lost in thought. Give it up for Tom Moonbird. Woo! Tom Moonbird is our usual hype man. When he comes in here, you can usually tell because he's dressed like a traffic cone. and is just about as noticeable.
Yeah, and for those of you that are here, in case you're wondering, we're broadcasting live on Facebook, right, and YouTube, and on the screen you can see the other poets, the voices you're hearing. We can see them, but I don't have a monitor set up yet. So, but yeah, just in case. Can you hear them okay? Okay, good.
Excellent.
Because I have headphones on, so I can hear everything.
Yeah,
Well,
that's seriously not fair, Ernie B. You didn't provide us with any.
Come on, don't give him a hard time. He holds it all together. It's really good, electronically.
I'm kidding. Okay. Let me see. I am going to. Can I just read something real quick? Can I read some old shit?
Yep.
You're the host. Why do you have to ask?
Well, I mean, usually I consider myself the packing peanuts, but I kind of want to show the folks within the venue how it kind of works. You know, you can read a poem, you can sing a song, but since we're streaming live, we would probably want it to be original tunes. You know, if it's Ernie, you're gonna have to tell us about the copyright thing. Ernie.
Oh yeah, you can't do copyrighted material.
Thank you. That really cleared it up. Now it's about as clear as mud.
I know. Usually we say that stuff like you can say fuck, but I think that's pretty much answered with the shirt that I'm wearing.
Yeah, I figured if we're broadcasting live and you're wearing a shirt with a penis on it, then yeah, I think pretty much anything goes. So did you introduce me? I feel so neglected.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So, coming up next, we have the other half of the show, or actually the other quarter of the show. She's got attitude. She's got spunk, and without her, I don't think Spoken Heard would run very well. She's the attitude behind the gears. Let's hear it for Miss Hot Tamale.
Yay!
Yay! Don't get too excited, guys. Okay, I've got a choice. Do you want to hear a really pissed off poem, a love poem, or a Dear God, I Was an Awkward Kid poem?
I love
All three.
I can't do that. They're all separate. Okay.
Let's start with love.
Okay, well, how about I do the sex poem? Okay, there we go. I actually got approval from within the venue. Check it out. Okay, and it's called Circuitry. Passion, passion you created in me. You see things, little things like me. Vision the infinite possibilities to marry science and deity. Atoms the picture, holy miracle. Neutron trails, you make me wail. Wonder upon wonders I cry, but with joy, not with pain. She brought you to me. Hand in hand, we complete the circuitry. Closed, we light up the sky, screaming passion, moaning sighs. Open, we are not complete. The best you, the best me are we. Silly jokes, goofy grin, the way you make me feel can't possibly be a sin. Sparks fly, electricity. Your touch is like vitamins for me. My heart, my soul, you are the missing piece that makes me whole. Fire, desire, I aspire. I love when you make me perspire. 1 millisecond you are mine. 1 moment fills up my lifetime. Coincidence? No. Luck? Not even. And I'm not even superstitious. With you I feel wondermous. Wonderful. Just kidding. I'm twisting my words. I love you without a doubt, forever and a day, with late checkout.
I remember that poem.
See, you know
That's
you know where that actually came from. Me and Ernie B were doing a gig in Del Rio, Texas, with a Kiss tribute band called Kiss It. They're no longer together. And it was at this place. What was it? The Del Rio Amphitheater or something?
I don't know.
You know, that big stone theater.
I don't know what it's called. It's
Okay, it was that thing. And I had already been working with Ernie for about a year, and I was like plugging in all my lights. I had to run the cords from front of house to the stage to back. And then I had one of those forehead slapping moments going, so that's what a circuit is. And Ernie just went, oh. Because he's an electrician. And so, I mean, and for somebody with no experience, with that, I told that to my dad. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, hey, I'm not an electrician. Give me a break.
Her dad's an electrician. Well,
Yeah.
was an electrician all his life, too, so
Yeah, so.
he was embarrassed.
Yeah, he was embarrassed for me, so sorry. So I combined electricity and love with a little dash of lust in there to make that poem.
Let's hear it for Hot Tamale.
Thank you.
Yay.
Lost in thought. Okay, so folks, just remember, wait, Jacob, are the drink specials still Bloody Marys and mimosas? Bloody Marys? Just the mimosas? Okay. Drink specials, mimosas, $4. Get your vitamin C and your booze at the same time. Yum, yum, yummy. And Lost in Thought, what did you drink today?
Horchata. And
Horchata frap?
and, a pizza, and I also got a pepperoni pizza, which is yummy.
Oh, the pizzas here are always so good.
So I can introduce the next poem. I also have new shit though.
Oh, you have new shit? So do we have a poet coming up next? Or is it you?
Actually, I was going to introduce one of the online people.
Oh, okay.
But Birdman, are you? Do you think you're ready?
I'm always ready.
Come on.
Oh, and for those of you that
He's
are
like, shit.
Is Reggie here tonight too?
Yes,
Yes.
he is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to let you folks know, within the venue, we have a couple of poets actually calling in from out of town. Birdman is from Houston, and Reggie Goodwin is in Greensboro, North Carolina. Yeah, so we actually had one person that used to call in from Minnesota when it was still kind of cold.
What was his
but
name?
I kind of want to say Mark, but I might be
I
wrong.
can't remember.
He's probably in the history.
He was in the first couple of shows that we did online.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Go ahead and do your intro.
So coming up next, all the way from another part of Texas,
H-Town.
H-Town, we have got Birdman 3-1-3.
Woo! 3. Say the last 3. Good God.
3.
313. Birdman 313.
Yeah, I'm gonna read. It's two short poems which I've done at Independence Airport. Prompt.
Yeah.
Tom is part of it. So this first one I'm gonna read is Superstition. I think that's the one I did last week. Some people believe in superstition that comes from various backgrounds, teachings, and old family beliefs. Breaking a mirror will give you 7 years of bad luck. Even the weather has been said to have set its marks, such as red sky at night, a sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. Cross your fingers when you make a promise. A black cat crossing your path means bad luck. Stepping on a crack breaks your mother's back. Break bread with family, but never break bread with a thief or liar. The number 13 was considered unlucky. Now I'm 13. Don't split a friendship by letting a pole or tree come between the two of you while walking. Don't mix light liquor with dark liquor. If you stare into the ocean too long, it will drag you into it. Why do superstition have such a hold on some people? What does the word superstition mean? Do you believe in superstition? Is there a connection between poetry and superstition? And the next one is gonna be honest answers. I skipped over the one I was gonna read. It's called Honest Answers. Yes, no, and it's none of your business. Now trying to acquire an honest answer, then only to be told yes, no, and it's none of your business. Honesty hurts as regrets burn. But the answers you give seems to say yes, no, and it's none of your business. So I guess you didn't want to or need to respond. If this is your answer, yes, no, it's none of your business. Thank you.
Woo!
Host missing.
And we have no
missing.
hosts on stage.
What
No
sort
host.
of
Now
show
applying
is
within.
You want me to read
Hosts
another
needed.
one then?
Hosts
this? Yeah,
needed.
go on. Get away with it.
Well, she's already up
I'll
there.
read another one right quick. It's titled.
Huh?
Oh,
Well, he said he was
she
done.
came back on.
Wait. Birdman, do you have one more poem?
Yeah, it's short though. But yeah, I was gonna read this short one. Like I said, these are poems from the Independence, and this one is titled "Revenge."
Okay.
Listen to it, Hot Tamale.
I'm listening.
I'm just messing with you. Revenge is a word tossed about freely when someone has been wronged or hurt. Some people live out of revenge. Jealousy may be an act of revenge. Some dream of getting revenge. Revenge can be very hurtful. Why live in a revengeful life? Be careful of trying to set up a revenge against someone because you could be digging your own grave.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, dig it. Oh, cool. Deep, very deep.
You know what I honestly think is like loads better than revenge,
Yeah.
and it's totally painless too. Indifference.
Hey, trust me, I've been married to two people that used to love revenge. So hey,
No.
it ain't good.
Okay. So
It ain't
Get
good.
married to
yeah,
them.
just basically pile up on them a nice heaping scoop of indifference,
Uh-huh.
and you don't got to worry about them no more.
Let's hear it for Birdman.
I don't
313.
worry about them now.
Woo! Give it up for Birdman.
He just don't care.
Yeah.
So next up, hey Reggie.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I got
Oh, folks, just to let you know, the camera's like right there. Yeah.
So
I kind of hope I'm waving at him.
so
You waving?
So
I can
how's
see you.
how's the weather?
He's
It's
in
been wet.
Okay, and just to let you folks know, he actually has a T-shirt that says "awkward." That's
Yeah.
perfect
No,
way to
majestically
describe
awkward.
it. Not the dick shirt.
No, majestically awkward. It says.
Okay, that's right. Majestically awkward. My bad. Majestically awkward, and that defines him in a nutshell. Okay, continue.
So Reggie,
Yes, sir.
there's something I've always wanted to ask you.
Oh no.
Yes,
Are you ready to do a poem?
I am.
Good. Man,
He's been waiting for years to ask you that.
I know. Oh, thank you.
11 years.
Thank you for leaving that. I've been holding that one in, Reggie.
Okay. I'm glad you
So
got that out. So
give him his intro, dude.
So coming up next, we have the powerful words of Reggie Goodwin.
Yay, Reggie.
So this is a piece that I was talking to Tom and Birdman about before we went live. It's just titled "Slap," and you'll get the gist of it. I start with a quote from James Baldwin. "The police are very real menace to every black cat alive in this country. And no matter how many people say you're being paranoid when you talk about police brutality, I know what I'm talking about. I survived those streets and those precinct basements, and I know. And I tell you this, I know what it was like when I was really helpless, how many beatings I got. And I know that happens now because I'm not really helpless. But I know, too, that if the police, don't know that this is Jimmy Baldwin and not just some nigger, he's going to blow my head off just like he blows off everybody else's head. It could happen to my mother in the morning, to my sister, to my brother. For me, this has always been a violent country. It has never been a democracy. 194 days later, after a murder during a pandemic, our one officer, Brett Hankerson, charged with reckless endangerment of Breonna's neighbors. In other words, Fault found for not shooting straight. Her fault was being asleep in her own bed. Sleeping while black can leave you dead. The other two were apparently justified in their malicious homicide. No aid rendered as Brianna staggered, bleeding out. A $12 million taxpayer bribe is a poor resurrection. Daniel Cameron genuflected, preaching about law and order, deplorable after breaking the Hatch Act law on the White House lawn for his illegitimate Putin-installed puppet president. 100,000 plus people a day are dying from a pandemic. Brianna, as an EMT, was a first responder. Her fellows did not render aid after a botched no-knock raid because Brianna's life didn't matter. Atlas Shrugged isn't just an Ayn Rand tome, it's the name of the Fox TV radiologist unqualified to be an epidemiologist instead of Fauci and Birch, who tell him the worst because sometimes the truth in life hurts. We're under Bill Barr's Department of Injustice. Like Flavor Flav said, can't trust it. Justice only looks like a living, breathing Breonna Taylor and the rest of her assailants. I am tired of saying their names. Fame should not be at the price of a rally or a hashtag. There's efficacy in breathing. The only conclusion that has me reeling is he's trying to kill me and all of us in this democracy. Like Steppenwolf for Darkside, he's peppered the landscape with tear gas, flash bombs, and racial fire pits, smashing 240 years of self-governance into his twisted authoritarian apocalypse. Converting American justice to converting American citizens to lowlies. Orange Judas Iscariot fosters a proletariat. From democracy to kingdom comes slavery. The reality of who Antichrist is he who is antithetical to what Christ did. He's fulfilling every single one of the 7 deadly sins. Support from the white evangelical supremacists, henceforth known as anti-Christians, the meek who will inherit the earth, probably wear masks, and don't possess AR-15 clips. From citizens to serfdom, weary of his fantasies, zoning out with streaming online movies, citizens will begin tuning out. Post-coup d'etat, the Washington Post says, democracy dies in darkness and sadly exhausted apathy.
Yes, I can't be
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, love that. Love that.
And did you know that that was on the same date of the verdict acquitting Emmett Till's murderers?
Yep.
Yes.
Of course it
Yeah.
was. Well, let's hear it for Reggie Goodwin.
Honestly,
True.
I really don't have anything to say because Reggie said it all.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, once you get me going, I can't shut it off, and I get really pissed. Oh.
Yeah,
But
that was a really pissed poem.
yeah. Thank you, Reggie. You pretty much said everything that I would love to say.
Bring Brianna back to life.
Yes.
Okay, so you actually have a set list.
Yep.
I'm impressed. Okay, because I wrote down one name, and you're
That'll cover it, you know.
you're the man.
And next up, we used to have a voice that hasn't been here in a while. And I want to say, you pronounced the name Sydney, right? Okay. You might get this all the time, but what's your favorite scary movie, Sydney?
Oh man. I'm sorry, Sydney. He's a dork.
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
But Sydney has this real kick-ass keyboard that I can't wait to see what is about to be displayed upon us. But coming up to the stage, let's hear it for Sydney. And I forgot, where's the mistress?
Well done.
Oh, it's over by my Coke. Okay, are we gonna do it like this? Okay. Do you want to get like a shorter chair or? Oh yeah.
going to sing? Just drop the chords there. I'll pick them up later.
one. Nice one.
Well,
First
I would
time
say
we
that
had music in a while.
that was our first live performer on this stage at Spoken and Heard since March.
Yeah,
That's cool. Well, apart
Let's-
from the other
made history.
bands,
Huh?
apart from your benefit bands, the ones who are
Well,
playing
yeah.
here.
Apart from that, but I meant at Spoken and Heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But let's,
wonderful.
let's-
But let's hear it for Sydney.
Let's give it up for Sydney.
nice.
Woo!
I really, really liked that. The melody kind of took me back.
I swear, when I looked down and I thought I heard a guitar, I was like, I thought she carried up a keyboard.
And I'll explain my answer here, but I loved it, and it made me think of okay, it's gonna sound a little weird, but it made me think.
Wait a
of,
minute, from you?
Yeah, I know.
No.
Did you think of the Golden Girls?
No, it made me think of like late night Skinamax, mainly because of the music behind
no.
it. But the reason why I say that was because that's something that I kind of enjoy, because I would always watch it. It's like, well, I don't care about this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and watch it. And I always got a lot of my humor from that, and it always took me back to better times as well. And I always got a lot of poetry out of it, especially like out of those stupid movies, and like I would get a lot of good poetry. And
Out of Skinamax.
yes,
Okay.
it was because it was pretty humorous, and I always thought, hey, a gay dude that watches Skinamax, but it had me thinking of like this very good vibes kind of feeling, and it just really took me back to like I felt this kind of deep nostalgia listening to it. But yes, thank you, Sydney.
Nostalgia is not as it used to be.
Did he just reference Skinamax?
Yes.
He did.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Majestically awkward he is. Oh my god. Okay, thank you, Sydney. Thank you very much.
Yes.
That was really cool.
It was cool. I liked it a lot.
Okay, so who do you have next on your set list? Oh, folks, don't forget to belly up to the bar and have a delicious mimosa, courtesy of
Yes.
Jacob.
It also made me think of Saturday morning cartoons. Anyway, sorry.
You're a very warped individual.
Thank heavens.
Okay.
Don't ruin
okay.
my Saturday morning
Okay.
cartoons,
Okay.
baby.
Let me tell you guys a tiny little 2-minute story before we move on.
I
And
knew what she's gonna say.
yeah, as soon as Ernie said warped, that's where I kind of went. It's like, I mean, when this was the very first place that I ever read poetry at. I had a
Yeah.
friend from high school that basically, I was saying, man, I want to go read my poems. I want to go read my poems. And he lives in Indiana. We were just talking on the phone, and he was going, you know what? Put up or shut up. I'm like, oh. So I found this place at the back of the Chronicle or something like that, like arts, music events, places to be, people to see. And I was like, oh, Kickbutt Coffee. That's not too far from here. Okay. Came over, and this is when Kickbutt was still half the size. If you look at the floor, the original store is
Right where this curtain is.
Yeah.
In the middle, there was a wall.
The original store is where the light floor is. But anyway, and that was the first stage over there where all the chairs are stacked up. That's the first stage I ever read on. And, started coming here, started reading more. Long story short, the host and founder of Spoken and Heard, Element 615, a.k.a. Joe B., asked me if I wanted to be a host. I pretty much ran home screaming, what? Okay. And then, so I started taking Lost in Thought home because he usually needed a ride home. And then one day he started talking to me about peanut butter and
this. Okay.
Barbie doll heads.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what did I get myself into?
We just got our first couple of live participants here at the show.
I know.
We don't want to scare him away with his
I know.
I thought you were
bizarre story.
I thought you were gonna.
I'm not going to detail into it,
Yeah.
but I just just so you know, majestically awkward is the guy. I mean, he seriously embodies it, but, 11 years, I still don't know what he's saying half the time, but I love him to death.
I thought you were going to tell them the "Are you wearing a bra" story.
No, actually, that'll get us kicked off the air, so I don't want to do that shit. Okay, so do you have anybody next?
Yes, of course. I think I have a new voice.
Okay, we have a new voice?
We have a new voice.
That's
Rock and
wonderful.
roll.
Yes.
Intro and tell us who it is.
Okay, so first time here at Kickbutt Coffee, spoken and heard, we have the Marine veteran, we have the person with the kick-ass face mask, which you will see momentarily, and coming up next, we have got Rory.
Oh, shoot, go get the spray.
Hey, Rory. Hey,
I
Rory.
was forgetting about the spray.
Okay, one moment, Rory. Yeah. Okay. Come on, Curly.
Just take your time, man.
Yeah, I know. Just cruise on down there. Why don't you?
Come on.
My God. Oh, but yeah. Which mic do you want to get on?
Just spray right in the front.
Okay.
Welcome back, Reggie.
Get situated. How's everybody doing this evening?
Modelo.
That's what
All right,
Birdman
I
says.
need a little more energy. How's everybody doing this evening?
Yeah,
All
come
right,
on.
all right. So this is my first time on this stage. So I have a couple pieces that are relatively short. I enjoyed the young lady on the keyboard, and I've enjoyed everything I've heard and seen this far. This is a dope-ass place, dope-ass venue, and a dope-ass stage. It's been a minute. So really, I go by The Storm, capital T-H-E, capital S-T-O-R-M. You can find me on YouTube at The Thoughts of the Storm. And then too, I'll be reading from my book, Poetically Incorrect Poems and Original Quotes. You can find that on Amazon. Just Google Amazon, Rory C. Holmes, and you see this lovely cover pop up. So this first piece I'm going to read is called Dear Racist, keeping in with the mood of what I've heard so far. Dear Racist.
Yeah.
Dear Racist, I know you're confused because you grew up in a place where nobody liked you. So you found a group who'd accept you and let you be who you are. And in turn, you turned against yourself and became who they are. And let's be honest, that's not you. That's not who your parents raised, or maybe they did. Taught to hate another man because of his skin, because of his religion, because of his sexual orientation or preference. You often reference the Confederacy or Nazi Germany in your hate speech, using powerful words, the venom within them, to kill your brother, your fellow man, another human being. But don't be fooled by false propaganda, because I'm just a man to stand up and tell you to your face that you're wrong. I'll even defend your right to free speech, but you're wrong. Can't we all just get along, coexist? We might get pissed from time to time at each other, but isn't that what families do? Anywho, at the end of the day, you're my brother, and I love you. Even if your views are skewed, I love you. Even after I beat the shit out of you, I still love you.
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
my brother, and I love you.
Yeah, beat the shit out of him. Now we're talking.
That was my letter to a racist. So that kind of came on the heels of a kid I went to middle school with. We were real tight in 8th grade. And by our 9th grade year, he had totally flipped, joined the skinheads. And needless to say, we're not friends anymore. This second one is called Come Together. This one is real short. Come together. Protest with poetry. And I won't wear a hood or a sheet so you know it's me. So you all can see the tears in my eyes that brings ears to the cries of the oppressed. And I'm stressed, more like vexed. How the hell can we come together if we don't come together and see each other for who we are?
Yeah, yeah.
Should it matter that she's white and I'm black and who's skinny and who's fat and who's straight and who's gay. Aren't we all a part of the human race?
Yes.
I mean, even y'all who choose to act like Neanderthals and bruise the blessedness of our nation with your senseless hating. So I implore you, cut the shit and let's get to living. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, never broken. Yeah. Wasted words there. Give him some more time. He's got lots.
See how long it seems without the music playing in between?
I know.
It seems like forever for them to walk up there, but really it's only been about 10 seconds.
But let's hear it for Rory.
Dun 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 dun
Some more.
What's Tom saying?
I don't know. I was just making up stinger music. Go ahead.
I was going to hook up the music today. For those of y'all who are the first time here, I usually play stinger music in between acts, little 15-second little ditties, And I had a show here on Saturday night with some live bands, and I either, left
Friday night.
Friday night, yeah. Left my tablet here and forgot it, and it's gone. Or I misplaced it at home because I didn't see it where I usually keep it. So, hey, Andrew Horniman's calling.
Oh, good.
Andrew Horniman.
Hold on.
Talking old folks home.
I just clicked merge call, and it said I missed the call. Oh, wait, is he there?
Wait.
It says he joined on my phone.
Yeah.
Are you there?
I'm here.
We hear you.
Andrew!
Live
what a
from.
miss.
Okay, are you still live from Phoenix?
Oh fuck. Okay, here we are.
There you are.
I can see my thing.
Is that a no?
No, Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Not Phoenix. It's like saying San Antonio.
Oh.
It's that. But out.
Two songs.
What?
Two songs in song.
I could barely hear.
Wait.
That's all right. Probably you don't hear me, Andrew. It's welcome back. It's Tom. Are there really two songs in Tucson?
I heard
I
that.
don't.
What's a Tucson? I mean, I know it's a city, but...
Welcome back, Andrew. Give us some jokes.
Well, no, I was going to say, coming up
What the
next...
hell?
Okay, wait. While Andrew gets his self together.
I forgot how this works.
Coming up next...
Yeah, well, Andrew, let me bring him up to speed. We're actually here live at Kickbutt.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are.
And there's some people here also that came in. We started doing this last week, and we're going to keep doing the show here every Sunday. But we're still doing the streaming at the same time.
Yep. There we go.
So,
welcome.
coming back up to the stage, we have Hot Tamale with some new shit.
I actually do. I mean, I was flipping through my bullet / book, and I remembered that I had scribbled something down during my lunch break, and it's called Grandma. Oh, shit. Grandma held my hand so tight, I didn't like it. I struggled to let go, but her grip was that of a boa constrictor. She raised 7 kids by herself. Never remarried after my grandpa died. Took care of me when I was sick. I slept on her couch and watched Mexican soaps. She always smelled like Pink Dove and John 2. I smell that and I immediately think of her. She would wear her long wavy brown hair up, brush it out at night, and look like a mermaid. Driving through a neighborhood one day, a snake fell out of a tree and at my feet. My grandma yanked the car door open and grabbed the snake with her bare hands and threw it out of the car. My grandma wasn't Wonder Woman. She was the Wonder Woman, Superwoman. The things I miss are the things I didn't used to like.
Nice.
And that woman, like I said, I mean, she was widowed in the year 1960. She raised 7 kids by herself. She's got about like 25 great grandkids. Good God. And she died when she was about 104.
And she never remarried either, right?
Yeah, never remarried. And when she died, her vision was going, her hearing was pretty much gone, but she was not senile. Her brain was still sharp as a knife. She was still telling her 85-year-old son what to do.
Can you imagine that? Be 85 and have your mom still around telling you to.
Yeah, it was hysterical to watch. We'd all be sitting around and she'd be nagging him, and we'd be like,
What are you gonna say? It's your mom.
yeah, what are you gonna say? No. And that always reminds me of a real quick story. I remember once, like I was saying, that I used to sleep on my grandma's couch when I was sick, and my mom, who worked about a block away, would come pick me up. And my mom would always come pick me up like in a tank top and shorts. She had just been jogging. And I could hear my grandma tell her to go put on something more decent. And my mom would be like, "Ay, mama," like, leave me alone. And then when my mom was driving me back home, and I was like, "Do as you say, not as you do, mother." And she was like, "Don't talk to me like that." And I was like, "Hey, I saw it." So calling it like I see it, yeah, all the attitude has been passed down from generation to generation. I'm exactly like my mom. And my daughter's like me, ask Ernie.
It's funny to watch them go at it, like when they're arguing or whatever. I'll be cracking up. They're like, "What?" And I go, "You guys are identical. If you could sit back and watch yourselves, it's funny."
Tiny little footnote, she was born 36 years to the day that I was born. Wow. She was born May 26, 2005, at the same time of day that I was, May 26, 1969. So, yeah, we're exactly alike. Wow. Dear God.
Hey, Hot Tamale.
Yes, sir.
Hot Tamale.
Yes, sir.
That poem reminds me of a song that Rare Earth did, titled Ma.
Ma.
I know Ernie done heard it.
Ernie?
Yeah, if I heard it. I know songs more by hearing them than by the titles.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But that one there, it did remind me. As soon as you start reading it, I started hearing Rare Earth playing in my ears.
That's a lucky
concert. And the Temptations did it too. It's a Motown song. So Temptations.
Okay, now you know I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. Temptation and Rare Earth did it.
Yeah, and I worked with both of those bands. Well, I worked with the drummer from Rare Earth. Wow. But I did work with the Temptations.
Okay, so Lost in Thought, did you say you have something?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so coming up next to the stage, my partner in crime.
Well, he's already on the stage.
Well, I know, but I mean, we're also doing the virtual spoken and heard stage, so I'm going to be this stage as well as the internet stage. Give it up for Lost in Thought in his legendary penis shirt.
So, not really about racism, but it's still a running theme. Although I have to admit, mine is not going to be as forgiving as Rory's. But, okay. As of late, there's been a slight discomfort in my stomach, and I've been afraid that I may have it. But with no other symptoms, no fever breaking over my skin, no loss of taste or smell, no difficulty breathing, I'm beginning to feel that it's something else. There's been this churning, you see, this dread that's been slowly kneading into the public consciousness, and this nightmare gradually turning the light into the depths of dark. And I've been feeling it, because all my emotions and fears always take a one-way trip right to the center of my stomach and twist it, burying it deep into a pit that runs of a hollow rot through my gut. That's the way it's always been for me, ever since I was a kid. Except now, there's this constant fear of the breaking apart of our nation. And that is being added on top of the everyday stresses of living life. or living in life itself. Sometimes even morphing some problems that may be quite concerning in and of themselves into a worry that paces itself into an apprehending storm, cycloning an upside-down tornado from the ground up. My mom's 70 and by herself. She lives in Rochester where there have been riots, and even though she's far away from that, I worry. And every time she says she doesn't feel well or has a cold, I don't have a speck of fear. I have a drowning wave of upended fright that passes through me as some kind of ominous shadow dances over my grave. But it passes, yet pieces of it remain. I worry every time she doesn't answer when I call. My mind goes into hyperdrive. Oh, by Hot Tamale, Rayla says hi. Another reason I've had to block and unfriend some people on Facebook. The most recent had stated that the people in Target yelling the mantra of "take off your mask" to Twisted Sisters "we're not going to take it" were simply exercising their rights. No, sir. It is not simply exercising your right to breathe into the open air when there is this thing latching onto your lungs through that very action. It's not exercising your right when suddenly what you do has now put everyone else in danger. It is not a choice that you're just making when you are leading lambs to the slaughter and inadvertently making yourself one of them. I fear this because it seems that no matter how many dead bodies we have piling up, people that believe this are still going to find ways of thinking that it's some kind of spin or it's a planned demic, and still support the administration that is not only trying to make saints out of devils, but is also brazen enough to tell you to do highly illegal things like voting twice. It scares me because they are mad dogs, aggressively and rabidly holding on to the bone they've been given, latching their teeth and clamping into the hard shell, running theories quick and fast into the foam that seeps in through their mouths, channeling a rose-tinted shade from within their eyes and using such sweet colors to blind themselves to the death and the chaos and the upheaval, and even going as far as picking up a shovel and helping with burying the truth while telling themselves that this country is becoming a good place and they are destroying the land they apparently hold so dear. I am afraid that this man will not only cheat but rape the system, while his believers have plucked their eyes clean of every hard truth and filtered very toxic judgments and laundering it through the desperation, turning it over in their heads, praying at any possible leak or crevice, and doing whatever they can to tear apart what is truly good about this country. I'm afraid because this is a scary time, which is why I say register to vote if you haven't. Use your vote no matter what they tell you. Use your voice. Use your power. Use what mental artillery we have left in this country, and do not let the stubbornness and the malicious will others try to convince themselves are nothing more than thoughts and prayers sway you. This is and will always be our country, and we will not let it simply be taken. We're not going to take it anymore. So,
yeah,
hey,
D. Snyder got really upset about that, the fact
did.
that they were doing that, using his song, you know.
But I want to say, hey, Rayla.
Is she watching?
Yeah, she is. She texted me. She's like, I'm watching you.
Rayla, she's actually she's one of our regulars when we were all open up every week.
Yeah, and Eddie Navarro's watching too, but he said he's going to sit this one out. He's not going to call in, but he is watching.
Boo. Sorry. No. Honestly, Eddie Navarro, a.k.a. Vivid Nothing, he's actually a very talented musician. He does a wicked Native American flute.
He does.
I mean, I swear, when we're all online, it just like makes you want to go, hell yeah. It's good. It's good. It's that good. It makes you feel like you're in the deserts of Sedona. It's awesome. Okay.
And Ryan also says hi.
Who?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan. Oh, I thought
Oh,
you
Ryan.
said. I'm sorry. Behind your mask, it sounded like you said Brian.
No, Ryan.
No joke. I thought
Okay.
that's what he said too.
See, thank
Yeah.
you.
I
It
kinda
wasn't-
speak fast
and I'm standing
sometimes.
next to him.
The
Thank
ghost
you.
of Brian lives.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, just to let you know, that's the guy on my hat.
And actually, Rayla made that.
Yes, Rayla
Yeah.
did make these buttons. He was one of our regular. When did he pass? Like May of last year or the year before?
Yeah, just
that?
over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was one of our regulars. He was a Gemini, so you know I loved him.
Yep.
He looked like a biker. I mean, you look at him and go, whoa. But he was an artist. He was a writer. He was a voiceover actor. I mean,
And
he
always had at least 5 knives on him at any given moment.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that carried more knives than me. So, and I always told him that if I was a man, I'd want to look just like him. So. I did tell him that. It made him roll his eyes.
He was also a
times.
voice actor. He was also a voice actor in the
That's
past.
what I said.
She said that. She said that.
Oh, oops.
Hey,
And the chef-
Ernie, if
and-
you
and the
ever
chef,
do
too,
another
yeah.
special, let me know and I'll send you some videos.
If I ever what?
If you do another special,
Oh,
on
yeah.
Brian, let me know and I'll go in and pull up some videos.
Yep.
Video.
Cool, yeah.
Yep. Good idea.
Yeah.
And I'll
Birdman's from
I'll send them
Houston.
to you so you can post them.
Yep.
Cool, yeah.
And Birdman, do you still have the app?
No.
Oh.
Did they Google the company I was doing it with? Google cut off all companies that was doing apps, putting apps on their platform, and you had to actually, if you want to do a app, you have to go through Google now, and of course they charge you.
Of course.
That's evil. Google, evil Google.
You know, it's funny. My son, my youngest son, asked me the
Necessary
same thing last week about that because they wanted somebody to do an app for them, and I told him, you know, hey, Google. It's been like 2 years now. I haven't did no apps in over 2 years.
Google, evil.
And it said,
evil.
they said Google was saying that the apps that that I was doing had spam, and I'm like, how does the app have spam when there's no words? So.
Spam,
You know,
spam,
hey.
spam, 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 lovely spam, wonderful spam.
So they cut me out, and they cut a whole lot of other people out that was doing apps. So you actually have to pay them, and they charge like $1,200 for an app.
Yipes.
And I'm not paying nobody no $1,200 to do an app for me.
We are crime. Crime don't pay.
Just ask McGruff.
Actually, only if you don't do it well.
I did sound for McGruff one time, too. The crime
you
dog.
What?
Yes, in Laredo. I worked with him.
Okay, Ernie, you got to tell that story, but Reader's Digest it.
Yeah, well, it put it this way. I was like on a 3-day run. I used to work for this sound company, and I was on no sleep. You know, we did a show in McAllen, Texas, and we had to haul ass to Laredo to do a morning show in a stadium. So we were on no sleep. It was very delirious. I was very delirious. All of us were, the crew. And I didn't know it was a children's show. It was going to be for a children's. And there was like 6,000 kids from schools all over the area screaming in there. And I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe this. And then next thing you know, the McGruff, the crime dog up there, air guitaring with some other person up there. They were dancing around. And I just kind of looked up at the stage because I work on the side of the stage. And I look at one of my crew guys. I go, I can't believe I'm doing sound for McGruff. What's happening? What's going on here? But hey, we got paid, so that's all that matters.
That makes me think. That makes me think of that meme where it says, "Do live sound, get chicks, and get paid," and it shows that Kailu kid on stage.
Yeah, we actually got to the hotel and spent a whole 10 minutes there before we had to turn around and go back to the stadium. It was like, oh, one of the crew guys was like, "The bed, where's the bed?" He didn't care what room we were in; he just wanted the bed. Okay, enough of my yakking.
Is
Oh yeah, Ernie, you just talk too goddamn much.
Is Andrew Hornman still here?
Yes, he's still there.
I'm still
Hey,
here.
Andrew.
Hi.
Hello, who are we saying hi to?
Andrew
Andrew.
Hornman.
Oh, hey Andrew.
Man.
Sorry. He runs
Hey.
his words together. I don't know what he says. Sorry.
Hatabali says what?
Andrew.
Andrew, it's been so long. How have you been?
It's been so long.
How long has it been?
It was 2 months, maybe. I think.
Roughly. It's like you just. It's like you fell into a hole and just disappeared. I mean, we're like, "Where's Andrew?"
Yeah.
Hey, you still on Twitch?
What?
You still on Twitch?
No, I haven't done that. No, I haven't done the Twitch show in I don't know when.
Since the last time you was on there, huh? When I was on there, when I seen you.
Yeah, I think so. I was
Okay.
I've kind of taken it. I've been, just been not. I kind of did this whole thing where I went off of social media. I've been off of Facebook and Instagram for maybe 2 weeks now.
Wow.
Oh, we're live.
And I needed a reset.
Yeah. Welcome
This is
back.
weird. This is not me being funny. I think there's 2 people in the audience. How many people are in the audience?
We have 3.
Oh, so sorry.
Well, 3 more than last week because last week it was just the hosts and the bartender.
So is it like a screen? How are people?
No,
seeing this?
they can't see it. That's my next. I already ordered
That's
the
Ernie's next step.
Yeah, I already ordered the connectors
Oh.
and stuff I need to make that happen. So next week I'm gonna have a little screen on the stage so the people here can see you guys.
But what about us? Are we gonna see him?
Yes, yeah, I'll have another
so you
screen.
just-
So are we gonna do it like a P Diddy video and just start going like this? Or
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Wow.
so
you're
Andrew,
just
do you,
hearing my voice.
So Andrew,
Yes.
Rayla and Ryan are watching, and they she said that they woke up this morning literally thinking of your Seven Nation Army performance from a while back.
Jesus.
Pick up memories, baby. Remember memory? Hey.
That was fun.
Yep.
That was fun working with musicians that were professional. That was really ridiculous.
Wow.
Working with very talented people, and I knew not that much about music. It was so much fun.
Well, speaking of performing, are you do you think you're ready or?
do you
I
wanna...
have new shit. I do have new shit. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
So introduce the man.
See how I segued into that?
Okay, so thank you.
So coming up next, we haven't heard him. I'm gonna do a classic.
Oh God.
We haven't heard him in a long time. So, returning to the virtual stage, we have Mr. Andrew Hornman.
Yay! Oh my gosh! And then just the ghost. This is so fun. I wish I could see the audience. Just hearing my voice. This is hysterical. I sound like a pretty woman now. They don't know what I look like. Boy, So my grandma, we visit her social distance. She's alive. I realize that she's the only grandparent I have that's still alive. And I realized something very profound. She's not my favorite. My relationship to my grandma is kind of like my relationship to Paul McCartney.
Oh.
I'll see you just because the others are not living.
Oh, that's good. That's a good line. Keep that one. That's good, Andrew.
Oh my God, Tom! You're actually becoming even more profound.
Yes.
There's a role. There's a name for that. It's called trolling. It's called.
Excellent. Troll on, baby.
Oh my God. Okay. So I told my aunt. I told my aunt that, and she was like, "Well, first of all, your grandma's nobody's favorite," and I thought Paul McCartney was dead.
Yes, Deb. Yes.
Okay, he's still alive. Okay. I like peeing outside. That gives me pleasure. I love just pissing around. And I have this spot in the backyard where I go pee, and I pee on this anthill. Like there's an anthill that I pee on, and they're not there anymore. I'm destroying their civilization. I call my penis Cambridge Analytics.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Because I'm just fucking up with whole civilizations, and I don't give a shit about them just by a simple action on pissing on them. I'm glad you got that. I got some people caught that joke because they're the one that hacked into Facebook and caused this election. Or does he say, yeah, I don't need to explain it. That's not funny if I explain it. There was a bit. Okay, so my dad, he blamed. I'm doing a lot of therapy right now. I'm going through, and I'm meditating a lot. I'm eating. I'm like eating like vegan. I'm totally vegan now. Been working on a lot, and and I'm in touch with my emotions. And I just realized just how horny I am. Like just stupid horny. Like if I get to like if I'm working out more and I'm getting more horny doing that, I realize that if I go into 3% body fat, I'm gonna probably do something stupid, like have sex with a woman.
It's been done.
Did somebody just say do it? I could hear that. That was fun.
Trolling.
Okay. There was something what don't kill. Oh man. So and then I don't know. I'm taking therapy now, and I love like my I'm doing it on Zoom, which is great. Doing Zoom therapy, and my therapist is from Canada, or he lives in Canada, and my self-esteem now has a Canadian accent.
Oh, that's good. That's a good line.
It's like, and then my lower self still has a Texas accent.
Yep.
That's want to fuck everything. Okay, so I do that. Okay. Oh God. That was.
You never had a Texas accent.
I could do a little bit.
All right, go on, say barbecue.
No, I try to do the Texas accent. No, I have to get the Texas accent by thinking I want to talk fast.
Oh my God. That sounds more Bostonian.
Well, oh yeah, you can't even see me. So, and I hear people I hear a person in the audience that doesn't sound Texas, and I'm like, yeah, well.
Are you hearing voices?
I'm hearing yours.
If you're hearing voices, the therapy is not working.
Or it's working correctly. You just.
Choose your voices.
Oh, it's a lot of feedback. Don't gaslight me. Okay, wait.
We love you.
This angry person. And here's the thing: nobody takes my anger seriously. I could rob a grocery store and would not get in trouble because, like, oh, that's cute.
Trump said that.
You're just way too chipper. I mean, you would walk in and go, "Give me the money," and everyone would be like, "What?"
You know what?
Yeah, so people are dead on my fucking feet. Okay, so I. Sounds so psycho. I sound like a psycho. I just have a fresh and shaven head, and I look like this is what a psycho looks like. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Woo! Andrew Horniman.
Well, let's hear it for Andrew Horniman and his penis. Yay!
Oh my God.
Oh, no. Andrew Horniman and his Cambridge Analytics.
Oh yeah, I'm glad.
Prince Andrew.
I tried doing that joke, and there's a open mic. A lot of New York comics do that mic. It was like open just for comics. Nobody got that joke.
I got it.
New York based, New York centric. That's
I
why.
got it, and I'm relatively sheltered.
I didn't get it.
Oh my god, are you watching all the are you watching? I've been watching a lot of the social media documentaries. I've watched like 5 of them.
Huh.
Yeah, it's all fantasy.
I just watched Bohemian Rhapsody finally.
Oh shit! Really?
I enjoyed it for what it was.
It was friggin' incredible.
It was good. It was nowhere near historically accurate, but it was entertaining.
I mean,
Well, in my daughter's words, she watched it when she was at her dad's house, and they were all sitting around the TV, her dad and his new wife, the kids. Freddie kissed his first guy. Her dad went, ew. And the kids went, oh my God, it's Freddie Mercury. What's wrong with you? And I was like, you schooled him. Awesome. Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Give it up for Andrew Horniman. Andrew Horniman. Current, relevant as always.
Yes.
thank you.
Good to see your haircut again.
Okay, wait. Don't sign off yet because I'm gonna want to go run behind Ernie's camera and go see what you look like.
Well, I think we might cycle through again. So, Tommy, baby.
Yeah, baby. Here's one for Andrew.
Yes. Yay. So let's so I'm sure I know you're always ready.
Ever ready battery, baby. Here we go. You can only ever see my face on Skype. You do not know what I am not wearing underneath this desk. Scottish kilt or Irish joke. This smile on my face, enigmatic as Mona Lisa being Leonardo's self-portrait. But you do get to see my wild yellow tops. And if that does not blow your eyeballs out, my Skype screens are equally surreal. Simple as this, bliss is. The way that we share dares us to connect safely, socially distanced, even from solitary. The Birdman of Alcatraz reached out to the winged living to affirm and smile over confined distances. Meanwhile, the world Zoom continues, and Skype, and Cisco WebEx. One day, the real world will resurrect, and it will not be a reality TV series. It'll be just us, on Kickbutt, live on a Sunday night for the 12th year. Yay, that's us.
All right.
Yeah, baby, Birdman. Well,
All right. There's no host, so I will host. I'm the engineer. I'm hosting.
excellent.
So here I go. I'm hosting.
Yep.
Look at me host. Ho host. Ho host. There's our hosts.
Ah,
We were having a huddle. Give me a break.
See Ernie host.
We had to have a host meeting.
See Ernie host. See Ernie.
Dick and Jane.
Okay, hold on a second, guys. I'm texting my son to let him know where the barbecue sauce is.
Oh.
In the fridge.
No. It's a new bottle, so it's still in the pantry.
Huh.
Only when you open it do you put it in the fridge.
These secrets. They never tell us these secrets.
Yes.
Isn't it good to have Andrew's back? I mean, Andrew's front. I mean, Andrew's side.
Can we not talk about Andrew's front, please? Thank you. This is a family show.
Right now we're seeing Andrew's
Oh,
top.
yeah,
of
yes.
his head.
Yes, it is a family show. Yes, it's a family show.
It's just like Birdman. It's just like Reggie. Everyone's got no hair. What happened?
And this is well, I mean, this isn't how families get made because I think that these are two men. But if it weren't, then this would be how families get made.
Okay, Ernie.
Yeah, I think Andrew is frozen, isn't he?
Ernie, was that his third cricket generating?
Yeah.
statement. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, my son, he's almost 20. He's cooking dinner. He's making pulled pork sandwiches.
Ooh, yum.
And I had to tell him where the barbecue sauce was.
Yummy.
Okay. Yummy. That is life.
Such is life.
Yeah, oh, and guess what I made for dinner really quickly before I left the house? I know it's going to sound disgusting, but it actually worked. And I usually don't go for the keto recipes. But this one was called, 3 words, you'll either be or ew. It was a Big Mac salad.
Huh. You know what? My roommate has made
It was like Thousand Island dressing, pickles, cheese, lettuce, and ground beef.
That sounds really good, though.
It did not suck. It did not suck. And I'm going to have more.
Bad.
It says it's keto friendly. I was like, okay. And it was really good. It was really tasty.
Yeah.
Basically, it was like a busted apart Big Mac with no bread.
Ooh.
Right.
Right.
I got that.
Yeah.
It was good. I'm gonna have some.
Unfortunately, I had some jar of pickles, thick cut pickles.
Oh God, those are some Ernie. Your pickles saved my recipe because my pickle eating daughter ate my jar of pickles that was supposed to go on the recipe. Darn it.
Too much information. Who's next?
What's so TMI about pickles?
We're pickle now. Who's next?
Unless you're taking it southbound, Tom.
Don't go there. That's
Uh-oh.
Okay, continue lost in thought before I get grosser.
So since we're cycling over, Mr. I'm sure while he's in flight, Mr. Birdman 313.
That's good.
Go ahead. Give him his
All right.
intro. Give him his intro.
Do you have another piece?
Come on now. You know I always have.
So let's hear it from Mr. Birdman 313.
Wait.
What?
Andrew said, sorry, my phone died, but it looks like I'm still here, texting back from my computer.
Yay!
Okay.
But let's hear it for
Okay.
Mr. Birdman 313.
Yes. You don't have to use the Mister, but I appreciate it. Hey, how many poems? 1 or 2?
Do two.
Okay.
You can do. Thank you, Tom, for being the unofficial host. You can do 2.
Okay.
The host is walking out. The host is never there.
Okay. This one here is titled. It's a short one. It's titled "Voices from the Past." Looking out into the horizon of the lonely desert, voices are speaking in the distance. Voices that come from the past, echoing in the distance behind the mountains. The voice says, keep your eyes wide open and your ears close to the ground. Thinking it was buried and long forgotten. A voice from the past enter into your thoughts. Happiness sometimes requires you to ignore those voices. They may speak loudly, but you must remind yourself not to ignore your own deep thoughts and to listen to your heart. That comes with being in tune with your inner self. To remove the dark voices from the past, you have to believe that you are stronger and better able to fit the pieces together. Life is ongoing even when you feel lost, and time will never come back. Now is the time for peace. And
Yeah.
my next one, I'm gonna read. I'm not gonna read that one there. This one here is called "The Whispering Wind." You call my name so tenderly, I close my eyes, bite my lips, and shiver. Your coldness I feel, yet desire burns through me and flows through my veins. I sighed and said, I love you too. Missing you and wanting to be with you, sharing a couch next to you. Listen as my heart beats when you touch me with your sweet touch. I long to touch your back with my warm hands and outline your skin with my passionate kisses. I want to smell your sweet breath as you draw near. The wind whispers softly. I stand as if in a trance. As I hear the whispers of the wind, the stars shine brightly. As the wind blows through the trees, it whispers, you will never be mine. Thank you.
Give it up for Birdman 313. I'm sorry, it's just too easy. I'm sorry. You know what? You know what, Birdman? You know what really shocks me is that I never thought of it before.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that too.
I know, especially coming from me.
For those of you watching here that can't see him, on his backdrop on this video, he has like a shot of the beach with a bunch of seagulls flying around behind him.
Seagulls is his backdrop on Skype.
Yeah, that's my new. That's gonna be my next book cover.
That photo?
Yeah, seagull droppings in the sand.
Yeah, see, you can see it right there.
There's the sand, the seagull droppings.
And I also did a video today, but it was at a different beach with a bunch of seagulls.
Mm-hmm.
Different seagulls?
Yeah.
Stunt seagulls?
That's good. Steven Seagull. Steven Seagull.
I did one Friday and did one today of birds around me. I love the birds. They're just like family.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. I can't top that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reggie, do you feel like doing another one or two? Alrighty, so
We got two.
Okay, cool, great. So coming up next to the virtual Spoken and Heard stage, we have Reggie Goodwin.
Hey, Reggie, yeah.
So this first one is called Flim Flam, and it starts with another quote. One of the saddest lessons of history is this. If we've been bamboozled long enough, we tend to reject any evidence of the bamboozle. We are no longer interested in finding out the truth. The bamboozle has captured us. It's simply too painful to acknowledge, even to ourselves, that we've been taken. Once you give a charlatan power over you, you almost never get it back. That is from Carl Sagan, The Demon-Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark.
Yeah.
Button of plans for the black man. After defending Confederate monuments, calling the birthplace of humanity a continent of shithole countries, after attacking the first black president as illegitimate, promoting birtherism, demanding his birth certificate short form suddenly not enough, then demanded the long form, then his Harvard grades, surreptitiously keeping decades of his income taxes like his great brain grades from scrutiny by U.S. citizens. Putin has more insight on his net worth than the rest of us. Russian harlot P-tapes have to exist because of Billy Bush and Access Hollywood precedents. What remains unprecedented is how quickly the party, formerly of family values, capitulated to well-worn tropes and antecedents with a shoulder shrug. They never really meant it. White robes are substituted with red hats, you see. White supremacy is anxiously numerical. The hysteria is clinical. Mulatto children may be too ecumenical, looking for middle ground politically and spiritually less cynical. Same-sex couples cannot make children without biological insemination of a surrogate. No difference in outcome seen between comparative parents. They also must be blocked from adopting foster children, even though that will reduce the possibility of sexual exploitation and abuse, because what dismantles totalitarian rule is the threat of a good example. Counter to the propaganda narrative, the GOP has conceded it is a criminal enterprise masquerading as a political party. It is no longer competing to convince the electorate of anything, really. They have no new ideas to motivate newer generations of citizens beyond the time-honored tropes of racism, sexism, misogyny, homophobia, and stupidity, beyond tax cuts for the wealthy and deregulation that will magically trickle down to the rest of the nation. The fact that it hasn't doesn't matter. Voter purges, voter suppression, polls closed on college campuses and neighborhoods of color, poll taxes on exonerated prisoners in Florida. Their only motivation is to keep power. By Malcolm X's Any Means Necessary, Karl Rove wanted a permanent Republican majority, which sounded more like fascism than Republican democracy, reducing the Constitution to a facade apart from the ideal of its former self. 107 nations no longer welcome the citizens of the United States. We've never been so isolated. Think a minute. Forget again. How does our current state of affairs make us at all great?
Yeah.
So that was Flim Flam.
More.
More Reggie.
And one more of new shit.
No
Baptism
shit.
and bar mitzvahs. Executive orders for pre-existing conditions sounds like the right prescription for already existing Affordable Care Acts you're trying to eliminate during a pandemic, eliminating pre-existing conditions that could be things like, diabetes, hypertension, complications from the coronavirus, when your chances are more heightened to get struck by lightning than re-election for president. He's pledging to make Juneteenth a federal holiday beyond his Article 2 powers and designate the KKK domestic terrorists, the same he referred to as very fine fellows because of his meditation on the inclination of SDNY, State District Attorney in Manhattan, DA, to bring about several indictments for state crimes he cannot pardon himself from for the crimes against humanity and violations of emoluments. Orange is the new black. He started his carnage campaign in birtherism, questioning the legitimacy of the country's first black president, jealous of his intelligence, lovely family, and melanin, telling Michael Cohen that our ancestry originated from shithole countries, not a student of anthropology, biology, or migratory patterns of humanity. 200,000 years ago, Africa is where Adam and the rest of us originated. Now, a grim statistic, 200,000 lives lost in America is 67 9/11s. Wow. Fundamental. He is at the third grade level. He chooses to take in information from the most passive-aggressive persuasion, affectionately called the boob tube, which he spends an inordinate amount of time in front of, absorbing Fox propaganda garbage like the median age of his viewers. He doesn't want his archaic worldview challenged or women with autonomy over their own bodies. A black president, same-sex equality precedent, equal rights amendment, Phyllis Schlafly meant all white women to be unemployed, married, barefoot, and pregnant, Darth Vader to anything progressive, daring to share white supremacy powers as long as everyone else remains caste pariahs. He's promising baptisms and bar mitzvahs, two things he cannot deliver, epitomizing all of the 7 deadly sins, whether theist or agnostic or atheist. We are all Alice through the looking glass, musing Mad Hatters and Cheshire Cats, seemingly Jared Kushner's strategy, ride the chaos and absurdity, seeing where everything lands. The spaghetti or feces hits the wall or chopped in the fan, either fix, deny, or dismiss it in the aftermath of a tragedy. The only resurrection or a rite of passage foreseen is democracy to fascism, a republic, Ben Franklin said, if you can keep it, or proletariat serfdom.
Woo! Hell yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Give it up for Reggie Goodwin.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's the real news.
All the way from North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Where the voting has already begun.
Yes.
I swear, 'cause like I said, don't mention the outright where I work. I work at a drugstore. Shh, don't say it.
Drug.
Yeah, because they said they're going to start to check my social media. I said, well, you're going to be either really bored or pissed, so whatever. And I had one of my customers say, yeah, because he comes in with his nose uncovered, and he barely wears the mask. And I said, and so he's one of my regulars. I already know what brand of cigarettes he gets, etc., ad nauseum. And he comes to the register, and I said, hey, man, can I ask you a question? He's taller than me. He's like, sure. I said, that nose on your face. He's like, yeah. I said, do you breathe through it, or is it just a decoration? And he was like, oh, no, I breathe through it. It fogs up my glasses if I put my mask over my nose. And I said, mine does too. Deal with it. And he's like, oh, don't worry. This pandemic will be over anytime.
Oh, my God.
I can't stand it. And I was like, that's when my joking facade just disappeared. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, don't worry. X amount of people are going to die, and then it's just going to all be over overnight. And I was like, Here's your change. Have a good night. I was like, I didn't want to engage because I probably would have gotten fired in 30 seconds.
That does remind me that the dude that I blocked on Facebook, won't mention his name, but that went on about like how he said that those people in Target were exercising their right. I think he's a pro-Trumpster too. He's also gay. I don't understand how you can be gay and support Trump.
Log cabin Republicans, they've done it for years.
Man, there's so many Republicans that's gay, man. You'll be surprised, man. Even in the White House, especially.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
There's
that's
also,
what we were talking about the other day. When I was talking with Hatamale about that. Isn't it ironic? Like usually the Republican politicians that are against gays and whatnot, gay rights, usually end up getting busted with with
busted with 12-year-old boys in motel rooms.
Well, not necessarily
No, but yeah.
12-year-old boys, but
okay, my bad, Cabana boys.
Whatever. you know what I mean? It's like
There
hypocrisy.
was a comedian Thursday night. Tom and I was on. It's called the Soapboxes out in L.A. And
yeah, you've mentioned that.
He was talking about. He was, and you know who he pointed out those that I've heard it so many times. Mike Pence.
Yep, guy has.
I still think it's creepy how he calls his wife mother.
That's bizarre.
No. That's what I'm saying. Hey, yeah.
Ernie, if you ever call me mother, I will flip you.
Nope.
Just letting you know. Okay?
And when you flip him, you ain't talking about letting him wear one of your skirts, are you?
No, I'm talking. I'll kick his legs out from under him. That's just wrong, creepy, and underlining.
No,
wrong.
they're too tight.
I had to do that to you, Ernie. I had to do that.
They're too tight. They don't fit me.
Nah, just the strapless bikini top. Okay.
I'm counting 4: Mike Pence, Matt Gaetz, Tim Scott, and Lindsey Graham.
Yes, Lindsey Graham. Yep.
And what's his name? Don't tell me the Kavanaugh.
Nah, he's hetero.
And I guess what I should have asked,
Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to get busted in a motel room.
I remember.
Nah, I don't think so. I think he's hetero, like Tom said.
Yep. You can smell him.
And I won't say how I know her, but there's this person that I know that when I first met her, she seemed liberal because she's like pro-gay rights, pro-trans rights, and then when I asked about Trump, she was like, "Oh yeah, 100%." And I'm like, okay, so if you're pro-gay and pro-trans, why are you supporting Mike Pence? I didn't ask her that because I didn't think to, but what?
Yeah.
What?
I was kind of waiting for the follow-up comment.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
My
bad.
Anyway, we veered off into preaching to the choir.
Oh,
so
we always do. And trust me, when me and Ernie B were broadcasting from the studio at home, it would get a lot worse. We would take off on political tangents for about an hour or so.
Well, it seems like we've been doing this now. That there's like a little political segment of the show.
Well, yeah, because honestly, ever since all this crap came down, we really haven't been in contact with each other. And you know how is it? People need people. You need somebody to like bounce your ideas off of. Hence, that's why we tried to keep the open mic going online.
Yeah, and it's like I said last week. It's almost impossible not to talk about it with the way things are nowadays.
Exactly.
You know? How can you not say something about it?
I got a poem about it.
You want to hear it? Here it go.
Like to hear it? Here it go.
It's called "There's No Reason Not to Have a Happy Ending, no matter what is going on." It's as if time had a union call for a world timeout. Of course, we all obeyed. We withdrew interior. More than a few refused, grew COVID in their nightclubs. Venues fell in Austin, especially the small ones. Such a powerful virus. Now time is time served, and we are twilight zoned out. We use screens for work, for play, for relief. Our eyes are tired. Our neck alignment posture suffers. Bodies battered by bad desktops. Now we have time and no time. Work and no work. Contradictions manifest. Grumpiness, insecurities. Were time to open up again, we might still have to close down. Emotionally, I mean, in feeling time, which differs from head time. Your feet may walk, but your eyes are zoomed out. You really do not know what sequence events take. Census before election, selection of a Supreme Court replacement while RBG rests in the same Supreme Court, police who murder escape while peaceful demonstrations get pepper sprayed. Oh, me miserum. You need more time for meditation, contemplation, rest and recreation. Come back next century. If we're still here, we can all share our likes, emoji, our preferences, pass the time away writing love letters in the sand.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh wait, can I?
Nobody introduced him, so nobody's outroing him.
Okay, Tom Moon. Woo, 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 woo. How's that? That was the beginning, the during, and the after.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to read a quick horror story. This is actually a true story, and then we can move on.
To the next poet, yes.
Okay, so this is old shit,
Old shit.
and it's called "Almost Kidnapped." For those of you that are regulars, you probably remember this. Tired after the game, my usual ritual was watching Friday night videos before I showered and went to bed. Yes, that shows how old I am. Got comfortable on the couch and turned on the TV. The large picture window in the living room always freaked me out, even though we really didn't have any neighbors. I started falling asleep as I was watching TV, but something kept startling me awake. Then I fell into a deep sleep. I felt someone start to pick me up. I'm in high school. Mom and Dad haven't carried me to bed in years. So I opened my eyes to a face that I did not recognize. I screamed and pushed him away. "Who are you?" I said. He replied, "I just want to talk to you." Adrenaline racing, I said, "Don't move. Stay right here." Why, I don't know. Ran over to my dad's room and said, "Someone's inside the house." I ran back. The guy was in my room trying to crawl back through my bedroom window. I grabbed his shirt and pulled him back. I said, "Where are you going?" At that moment, I heard a shotgun cock right behind me. "Who are you?" my father said. "I'm sorry, sir. I just wanted to talk to your daughter." My dad leveled his eyes with me and said, "Do you know this man?" And I said, "No!" So my father lowered the shotgun to the guy's chest and said, "You have 5 seconds to leave my house." My dad opens the front door and shoves the guy out. Meanwhile, while all this was going down, my mom was calling the sheriff. When the sheriff arrived, they told us they found the guy passed out in his truck, dead drunk up the road. The next day, investigators showed up to our house and dusted for fingerprints. Remember that picture window that kept freaking me out the night before? Well, they found 2 perfect handprints on the window from the guy peering into the house.
Wow, I remember that story. I remember that story.
Yeah.
And yes, that happened. That really did happen. That freaked me the heck out for a long time.
And saying she lived like way out in the country, like in the boonies.
Like further out than Ernie did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we really didn't have neighbors, so when you look out the front picture window, there's pretty much nothing but yard.
Farmland and stuff.
Yeah, road. Okay, so
And
were you? Yeah, so I mean, having to take police statements and stuff, pretty freaky for.
And her dad was in the service too, so he knew how to handle a gun.
Yeah, it's like that. I mean, I can't imagine what it did to that guy. It almost made me pee a little when I heard. I was like,
"You're like, don't shoot, Dad."
Yeah. Okay, you want to introduce? Oh, I am? Okay, so he knows he's coming up? All right. So we are going to have a sequel. Coming up next to the stage, we have the words of Rory.
Rory, Rory, Rory. Rory's okay.
Oh, shoot. Lane, did you get the spray? You already did? Oh, he already did.
Rory, yay, Rory.
Thank you so much.
Tell the truth.
Thank you so much. So I have two. One is going to be kind of, I don't know if it's political or what, but the second one is going to leave me on a good note.
Can you point the mic down at you a little bit? It's pointing in the air. There you go.
We good right here?
Yeah, it's better.
Oh, man. This one is called He Screams. He screams. He screams to let the frustrations of the day escape him. He screams. He screams to let the anger pent up inside reside outside of his body, where it belongs, so he can fill the space with songs of joy. He screams. He screams to let the world know he's hurting for change, hurting for justice, hurting for peace. He screams. He screams the names of those slain for no reason. He screams for the blatant disregard of humanity, decency, law, and order. He screams. He screams for the ones who don't have a voice. He screams for the ones whose choices were taken from them, who can no longer scream for themselves. He screams. He screams because kings' dreams have turned into nightmares. Night terrors frighten his mind, worried if ever there's going to be a time when his own sons will be terrorized for being black men in America. He screams. He screams, Black Lives Matter. He screams, Black Lives Matter, because they scream, all lives matter. But in order for all lives to matter, wouldn't the black lives have to matter too? He screams.
Yes.
He screams. But they don't hear him. But they don't come near him because he's the only black guy. And he doesn't want to be that guy because he's tired of trying to hide his anger inside when they claim all lives. Fuck it. He screams. He screams. He screams for the healing of the world. He screams. He screams because one day his baby girl will have to face a world where her hair will be offensive to some and to others a fascination. He screams. He screams in hopes to get attention, and maybe someone will scream with him, and someone will scream with them, and someone will hear them, and together they can silence the atrocities of the current times. This is why he screams.
Yeah, Rory, it's the truth, it's the truth.
Give me a moment to find the second one. So that one was written maybe a couple, 3 weeks ago in a fit of rage, really.
Rage shit.
So like I said, I'm gonna leave you on a good note. This is called What is Love? It's a little sappy, but I like it. What is love? It's more than those infamous 3 words spouted just before intercourse. It's what happens after. It's late nights and early mornings. It's warm beer and cold pizza. It's foot rubs and back massages, even when your hands hurt after working all day. What is love? It's a connection reached on several levels, mind, body, and soul. So what is love? It's a random text at 1:42 in the afternoon for absolutely no reason at all. It's sticking around with your mate even though they're an iPhone user. I'm an iPhone user. It's staying on the phone, listening to each other breathe, or listening to them talk about nothing just to hear the sound of their voice. It's having the same argument again, but then texting the next day like nothing ever happened. So what is love? It's a connection reached on several levels, mind, body, and soul. What is love? It's a hug goodbye and a kiss hello. It's taking a pee while he or she is brushing their teeth. What is love? It's watching The Notebook again. Even though she's seen it like a million times and she still cries like it's the first. It's watching sports with him and not asking a million questions even though you really don't understand what's going on. What is love? It's a connection reached on several levels, mind, body, and soul. What is love? Well, it's questions like, have you eaten yet? How did you sleep last night? What's on your mind? Is everything all right? What is love? It's filling her gas tank, getting her personals when it's that time of the month, taking out the trash without being asked, having her walk on the inside of the sidewalk. Only a few people will get that. It's telling her, baby, you're the most gorgeous woman on the planet, and then making her believe it. Even though she doesn't see it at the moment, it's allowing her to be a woman. So what is love? It's fixing his plate or fixing his tie. It's asking him instead of telling him. It's waiting for him to open your car door and then leaning over to open his. It's building him back up after the world has beat him down. It's allowing him to be a man. So what is love? It's a connection reached on several levels: mind, body, and soul. What is love? It's remaining real friends, even though you both know it's over. It's knowing when to fight harder or knowing when to just let go. It's going through the highs and the lows together. It's accepting everything he or she isn't and still standing with that person. What is love? It's a connection reached on several levels: mind, body, and soul. Thank you, guys.
Yay, Rory! Yay! Wonderful,
Nice,
wonderful.
that was nice.
Yeah. Positive vibration. Affirmation.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my chair again. Hey, I stand up all week. All right, give it up for Rory.
Hey, Rory!
Okay.
I wish this was a maraca, but it's not. Oh, here, Lane. I don't know why I just thought about Hot Child in the City.
Hot child.
Don't
Oh,
sing.
Jeez.
See, trust me, I'm the. See, that's why I said it, because I'm so afraid that I'll sing a snippet and then be a EMI or whatever is going to come down on us, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, no, actually, just to clear that up a little bit, if you perform like some copyrighted music in your own way, that's okay. It's when you use the actual piece, like the actual song.
So a karaoke version would be wrong.
I'm not sure about how the karaoke versions would work out or not, but it has to be done in a way to where if you play it exactly the same way, then you might still get hit by it. But if you do it if you do your own version.
Since you said that, my bass
Sydney.
instructor,
Thank you.
We played songs in the last couple of weeks that like Joe Bonamassa did. And I did a video. I posted on Facebook. I posted on Instagram, and nothing was said about it.
So
but we changed. He changed the chords. He changed some of the chords to it, but it sounds all just like it though.
Yeah.
And hey, no one said anything to me about it.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, if you use the actual piece, the actual recording. Yeah. So I mean, and there may be a gray area there, but I think I read that correctly that if you do your own version of it, if it's different enough, it's okay. It's just that you're not using the real thing.
Right, and that's what we do. He works on songs, and then we sit up and we play them.
Thank
and
you so much.
I even put some on my YouTube page, and
Hey,
YouTube accepted. I'm like, wow.
Thanks for stopping by, Rory. We'll be here next week too.
Good stuff. Wonderful, truthful, powerful.
So okay.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, but remember, he was walking out the door.
No.
He was walking out the door. I wanted to catch him before.
Sydney and Rory and his girlfriend, they all walked out. So it's back to us again.
Yeah, because they were overwhelmed with that intriguing copyright conversation.
I know. They had to go home and digest it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too intense. They couldn't handle it.
So basically, Ernie B, for example, if I wanted to do "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" in a rap, would it be okay?
Yeah, I think I mean, from what I read, that if it's done in your own way, in your own style, or like if you rearrange it or something. If you try to do it exactly the same way, too close to the original, then maybe you'll get hit with it. But
Okay.
So I have some old. I'm not sure if Rayla's still watching, but I actually found this piece that is probably one of her favorites, and she probably knows why. But can I do some old shit?
Oh, shit. Dry and crumbly.
So, so Ryan
No,
and
no, the audience is not gone. You guys are still there.
so Ryan and Rayla, if you're still there, this is for you. After I watched them pull the plug on my best friend's life support, and left in the room with only what was left of him on this earth, for the worst hour of my life, I thought to myself, that's it. Not only am I ever going to find anyone like him again, but I will never make another significant friend in my life. We're awarded so few in our lives, and Darnell was it for me. It's the 21st century. We've gotten older, and our distractions have gotten smarter, and we've gotten more adept at avoiding each other. I was grateful for my current Kickbutt family and circle of friends that were there for me, but I would never again meet anyone new. Well, about a year later, hosting here by myself, entered this couple. She was smartly evocative in her jet black short crop of hair and shirt with the word POW on it. And he looked like he'd just stepped away from a duel with James Bond. His attire practically cracked of embers with a powerful fashion sense. Little did I know, but I would grow to know them both. He was this quiet dagger, this sleek and modest weapon of words that slammed up against one another in the twisted flames of a dragon's breath, catapulted from lungs that were a driven war cry for a certain justice not seen much these days. And I saw a lot of myself in him. I couldn't fully comprehend the pattern of thought, but I don't think you can ever fully know someone from the inside out. But he can say so much without speaking once. A whole planet of thoughts and mind captures, floating into the solar system, that rotate around his ball of endless fire that is his mind, soaked in the finest wines and slicked over in strips of celluloid that we find our most common ground. An enduring love and devotion for historical meaning of cinematic legends that had defined eras, bubbled into a frothy madness with light and airy bubble bursts that stream an essence of fun little fests animated with highly entertaining characters. She is class, an elegant swan, made dangerous like a biker chick, sporting a leather jacket, and wing tips swooped in the cursive trails of her mascara. She is my Julia Sugarbaker, a diva with none of the ego tripping and all of the attitude, and can light words on fire with the cool and crisp style of her effortless vocabulary, sharply turning out phrases like mic drops. And I, growing up under the vicious cane of a maniac who sliced Bible verses into this monstrous caregiver's toxic veins, she gets what it's like to grow up with memories that want nothing more than to break you down and see you fail. But I have watched her succeed and thrive as she uses her past to build her up, not tear her down. She's just too strong for that. She is unafraid to be honest and forthright, and it makes me want to be honest with myself and shed this paper mache I've used as a safeguard for my skin to shield myself from complacency. I need to crack myself open, reach into the core of me, and be daring enough to be authentically myself, not deluded in cautious fear. They are both an inspiration. And they are truly like yin and yang. He a quiet fire that blazes trailways, and she a lustrous female hawk, fanning those flames, making each other stronger, but each being strong in their own right. They are both unique forces of nature, and capable and intensely artistic and wonderful with their own powers and abilities they bring to the table. And though no one can ever replace Darnell, and I am still trying to find ways of dealing with this loss, and I still feel that loss every single day. Yet I am thankful for these two who have been giving me the honor of developing this friendship that's strong and binding, because even rocks can't stand alone. I appreciate you and thank you, Ryan and Rayla.
That was nice, Lost in Thought.
Are they there? Are they on the phone?
Well, she hasn't texted me, so I think they're watching. But she may probably she and Ryan will probably catch the later.
They might watch it later.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan and Rayla, Ernie, where are we on the video? How long have we been online?
It's coming up on 2 hours right now.
Okay, so Ryan and Rayla, check up on the video. If you're watching this right now, rewind a little bit. No, just
Yeah, well.
That's funny.
Just go back. No. No, Lane, what I always think about, and I swear, sometimes I just need something to make me chuckle because, with everything, like I said, with everything going on, you got to find a reason to laugh. And I always think about when you were reading at Darnell's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
And you talked about how he had that bath mat that said what?
Morning, gorgeous.
I swear, as soon as he said that, he had the whole room laughing at a funeral. So I was like, okay, you got it. You got it, boy. That always makes me smile.
Yeah.
Morning, gorgeous.
Morning, gorgeous.
See, I don't have anything like that in my bathroom. Just cat puke.
Well, I mean, you don't have the mat that says morning, gorgeous, but you do have you.
Yeah, I go to the mirror every morning before I take my morning pee and go, morning, gorgeous. No, I don't. Okay, so Ernie B.
Yes.
Do you have any bacon haikus for us?
No.
Ah, come on, Ernie V. Okay, everybody at home, do we want to hear some bacon haikus?
No.
The bartender wants to hear bacon haikus.
Bartender has spoken.
Come on, Ernie B.
Ernie,
Bacon. Ernie, Bacon.
Oh,
Ernie B.
He's looking him up, and he's also rolling his eyes at me, so I'm probably going to be in trouble later.
Like yes, new.
Yeah. In other words, he's probably not going to give me my shot of whiskey that I so deserve.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the soundboard, me.
Long live me.
I love bacon, man. It's so crispy and yummy, stacked on my burger.
Woo!
Sizzling bacon. It smells so good in the kitchen. BLT sandwich. Bacon is my friend. Bacon is not my lover. Could that be a sign? Could this be magic? Or could this just be bacon? Delicious bacon. People love bacon. There should be a holiday. A bacon parade.
Woo!
Talking about bacon. Smell it in the air around. Man, I'm so hungry. Bacon has tapped in a different side of my soul. Writing haikus now. Owe it to bacon. Keeping my spirit alive. 3 cheers for bacon.
Woo!
Okay, one more. Bacon is greasy. Bacon is not good for you. Eat lots of bacon.
All right, the bacon haiku is live from the soundboard by Ernie B. Woo!
I'm always we're really thin on the list guy.
Copyrighted by Ernie B. Oh, just to let you know, for those of you that are still watching me and Lost in Thought on the stage, before Rory left, check this out. He gifted me a chapbook of his poetry.
Ooh.
Check it out.
Good.
Right there. Okay. And he did sign it. He did autograph it, so now it's worth something. It says, Hot Tamale, you guys are doing a great job of hosting. I will definitely come back. Thank you for all the love. Rory, a.k.a. The Storm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Woo!
Bring back the storm.
Yes, he was
Right.
very awesome. And we love him even more because he bought food, right, Jacob? He bought food and alcohol.
He's all right then.
There he is.
He's back like a boomerang.
Yeah, Yeah, like not when somebody comes in and says, yeah, I'll have a water. Oh, yeah, we got some bottled water in the fridge. No, from the faucet. Ew.
Speaking of alcohol, hey Jacob, could I get a round? I haven't had any yet.
What?
Nope.
Oh, my God. 911. Ernie B is sober. What is wrong with this picture? Ernie, how you doing,
I'm
man?
getting kind of thirsty.
Clear and conscious.
Who's doing the shaker? Who has the shaker?
I don't know. It's not me. I was shaking the spritz bottle, but that doesn't sound.
Oh, was that you, Tom?
Yeah, of course it was.
Okay, I know who was doing it.
You're pretty sharp. Birdman and Reggie are still here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Austinites, has the weather started dropping yet? Has the temperature started dropping? They actually said we're gonna be getting a strong cold front tonight.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, let me see.
Break out your snowshoes.
Well, the wind is still coming from the south, so not yet. I'm looking at it.
I kind of want to do one more piece because it's very fitting with the shirt that I'm wearing.
Go right ahead.
Oh, Tom, I just wanted to let you know we got my band's album was just released on Saturday,
I responded.
and
I saw Facebook.
I saw that, and
I'm so glad.
and thank you, and we got a response from someone from your homeland, from Australia.
Yeah, you might know him.
Yeah. And well, he works at a radio station down there, and he's like he said he stumbled on the album by just by chance, and he really loves it, and he'd like to get it on the air, and he knows some guys, some record companies over there, and all this, and he'd like to get it happening over there in Australia, in Sydney.
In Sydney, is it 2 Triple J?
No, what was his name? I can't remember right now. Gregory something or another.
Oh yeah, old Greg.
Greg, you know Greg,
Greg
from
yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, of course I know. Greg, yeah.
No, I wish I knew the radio. Maybe you were familiar with the radio station. Who knows? I don't know how long it's been since you've been back to Australia, but well, you were there. What, about a year ago?
That's right.
Yeah, you go down there once. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool because I don't know. I know they've been pushing our record in Europe and stuff and all that, but that's the first response that we got from Australia, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that's really good. Remember, the Saints came from Queensland, and the whole lot really.
And Little River Band.
They weren't really punk, They weren't really. They're sort of middle of the road, sort of chocolate music.
Hey, I love Little River Band.
Congratulations, Ernie.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Playing on Sydney radio, and I hope it's 2 Triple J because they are avant-garde and wonderful alternative music, and your music, super.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, I'm quiet now. Come
Okay.
on, Austin, do it.
Okay. Lots of thought. Yeah. You ready to read something?
So y'all later.
I hit my ankle.
I'm sorry, sis. Are you okay?
Wait. This moment brought to you by Mighty Mist. Mighty Mist, keeping your mouthpieces and your microphones clean. Mighty Mist. Okay, go ahead.
So y'all have heard this before, but I don't think Jacob has though. But I wanted to read this because it was very fitting with the shirt that I'm wearing. And
It's called the Penis Song. Just kidding.
And Hot Tamale might know what it is.
Every sperm is sacred. Sorry.
What?
I was fucking stupid, he said. Collecting everyone's usernames must be so personal, he said snarkily. Don't send me another friend request, he said. So, confession, this was from a user on the free porn sharing site ThisVid, who just happened to have some videos that fit nicely with some fetishes I had, of which I won't disclose because this is my poem and Nunya. That's why. This was his response to me telling him I thought he was no longer expecting payment because I didn't see it on his wall, and that charging people to be your friend on a free site just to see videos you have set to private is a little suspect and kind of a dick move to pull. And while I felt justified in telling him so, there was still a sting of rejection and bitterness that had me feeling alienated because that is a feeling that I've come to know as home for a while now. It's just porn. Just something to do in your off time. Everyone does it. But still, I couldn't help but to equate his words to the bitch slap of lockers and hallways. Viciously pushed closed by the hands of schoolyard bullies that made you feel small just because they could. And it felt icy and cold to never see what these clips belonged to or what films they were from. So, while cleaning my room and while working out, the endorphins began to set a tempered cool to a demonic rot that was still there, still had a grasp as stubborn as the day it was born in my gut, and still glowing a blood-red sun into the healing scars torn into me from real-life rejections. I began thinking, there's a remaining weapon I have in my arsenal, other than, telling him to the forum support, which I did, and they still have not gotten back to me, which is my words. I need to continue writing my main story, but you know what? I'm going to eventually write another story, born out of a sexually frustrated vulnerability, all about fetishes come into existence. And the descriptions are going to slowly erect into the nerves of the page and caress mental caverns, hiding away in the recesses of our minds, seducing the very grammar spelled intricately between the hardening of white space, gradually turning into a sweat that pulsates into the commas and hookends of semicolons in a shifting rush of hot skin and the taste of sex that burns up the page into climactic explosions of fireworks, strapping electrodes to our most private parts, and a needing to confess the lust and the desire even the most liberal of us can keep close in our enraptured hearts, and a sigh, an exhausted moan of relief, giving the sensation of having read out masturbatory, sexual, lustful, urging needs into a surviving subconscious. And it's going to be thought-provoking. And it will not only turn you on, but have the gears turning in your head, turning in your mindscape, causing a friction of heat between the stimulation of both the physical and the mental, and make you question boundaries in ways that define what it means to be human, and be both victorious and fractured. And if I ever see that fucktard again, granted, I won't know what he looks like, nor will he casually say, by the way, I'm that greedy asshole that wanted to make some cash on a free site. But if there's even a hint that it will be him, I will meditate on being the better person and rise above. And then I will say, fuck that! Hey, you goddamn loser! You tried to charge me for your vids on a free site, you British Trump wannabe, and you treat me like a dumbass for calling you out on it. So for you, this book is going to be $5,000. Don't have it? Then you can feel the icy sting of my rejection. Feel the cold of my Bruce Lee-like palm, and deal with what it feels like to be on the other side. Why not just go charging poor, defenseless kids high interest rates from your pop-up lemonade stand that you've obviously made a shrine to from your dickitude, asshole. Now go, leave me, peasant! It's a nice thought. I'd like to say more that doing things like this, and doing things like working out and writing more and being more constructive with my life eradicates any feeling of insignificance, body issues, and a feeling of unattractiveness. And while it helps, well, like I said before, we're human. We are victorious, but we are also fractured and fallible. Those feelings are still there, and I can still feel my heart melt into a storm drain whenever I think to myself and hurt myself with thoughts like, it's best to give up now. Because my wants and desires don't matter. Because the men I'm attracted to are not attracted to me due to circumstances or some kind of general disinterest. And shreds of paper-thin skin will peel from the outer shades of my ego, lit up with a deep hue of blue tears that soak into the outline of a still struggling boy trying to find his place in this world. But at least that after-school special version of a pimp, most likely wearing the crumpled gold wrapping paper you find from chocolate coins poorly passed off as the real deal, did one favor for me. While porn and choking the chicken, bashing the bishop, stroking the salami, pounding the pud, polishing the family jewels, strangling the snake, the five-knuckle shuffle, fapping, getting off, jerking off, jacking off, and of course, my own personal expression, washing dishes, can be healthy, just like junk food and sweets. It's best in moderation, and should be used as a tool to explore yourself and pair that with life experiences that are beautiful and disheartening, shameful and shameless, humble and strengthening. That asshole has made me think. Perhaps I rely on it too much. Maybe I do it to distraction, so I don't have to think about feeling like I'm still falling behind. Like somehow, I still believe I deserve to be detested. And how, somehow, I've twisted it in my mind to make it right that I need to sacrifice so much of myself, because my looks and demeanor and just me are unimportant and unnecessary. And maybe it's because I am so afraid of investigating why, looking deeper in myself, beyond the skin, beyond the nerves, beyond the desires, and strip it all the way down to the grit of my bones that have been soaking in a tub full of pity-party bath suds for far too long. And maybe I'll also find meaning to what it feels like to feel lonely in a room full of friends, and not deal with me just falling into pieces whenever I try to define myself. That when I need them the most, my words escape me. Maybe if I focus on the better ways of constructing my life, as opposed to letting everything around me fade away as I sit there disappointed in myself, because I just wasted a few more hours with my dishpan hands. that could have been better spent doing more to heal me, instead of keeping myself so far down.
Okay, wait. I wanted to do a sound effect after you did all. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Give it up for Lost in Thought. Give it up for Lost in Thought.
Hey,
I
you
want
had all of that on your phone, man, for real.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I want.
So what did you do last night? I just stayed home while I was bashing the bishop, And,
Okay. Look,
there's nothing on TV, so
This is what I wanted to do after.
Except the family show label is completely and utterly obliterated.
I saw that.
Okay, guys. After he read all those euphemisms, this is what I wanted to do. Hold on. Oh, now it's loading. God damn. It was. Hold on. Let me try that again.
I don't get it.
I'm sorry. That was just going through my head. Even when he was trying to say significant things, that's why you saw me put up my phone and take it back out and put it back up.
I mean, I get it after the session is over and it's deflated, like
deflated.
TMI, dude. I don't want to. I don't want to hear about when your bishop finally takes a nap. Jeez.
That's actually a UK term, bashing the bishop.
I don't know. And crisps are potato chips, and chips are fries.
So true.
Oh, okay. What time is it? Jeez.
It is 9:36.
Oh, shoot. Wow. Lane.
We've been milking this thing for some time now.
Lane, didn't you actually start your poem at 9 p.m.? I'm sorry. I always tease Lost in Thought that he's got these Iliad-length poems. And mine are more like fruit stripe gum.
Yeah, like mine.
Yeah, you chew on them for 15 seconds and all the flavor's gone. Done. That's those are my poems. His are like, what's that? Extra flavor, extra fun, and extra sugar-free gum. That's his. Extra flavor for that extra long poem.
Oh, that reminds me, I have yet to try chicken spaghetti.
Oh, Oh, shoot.
Yeah, hot tamale. Where's my chicken spaghetti?
Talk about changing the subject.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, really.
We're all wanting chicken spaghetti, aren't we?
We want Birdman.
Okay, wait. Okay. Everybody that has.
Birdman wants chicken spaghetti?
No, we want Birdman.
Okay, everybody that has been in Austin since like maybe 95.
Yeah.
Okay. Do y'all remember Dots?
I know the
Yes.
candy.
No.
Very much.
Yeah, you remember Dots?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
I'm gonna say yes.
Oh.
She over there listening.
I miss Dots so bad. I remember at one point they tried to move to Pflugerville, and it was kind of a bad move. I really wish that the original place hadn't burned down, but her lemonade was a food group.
Must have been before I moved here.
Yeah.
Did she have it out of her house?
Yes.
Okay, I heard about her.
It was
Yes.
off Howard Lane. It was
Yes.
off Howard Lane. Her lemonade was a food group. She would have chicken fried steaks that were the size of encyclopedias.
Wow.
Wonderful.
You could eat turkey and dressing any day of the year. Oh,
I remember the first time I met a woman named Dot. She was the manager of this club I worked at with this touring band I used to work with in Harlingen, and we'd go there or San Benito, somewhere in that area.
wasn't that the landing? What was it?
No, I can't remember what the name of the place was, but we'd go there maybe like 3 or 4 times a year, and her name was Dot, and I didn't know that could be a name. You know, I had never heard anyone named
It's
Dot
nickname for Dorothy.
before. And okay, and so that was my first Dot.
I wonder if this is the poet.
I don't know. Are you a new poet?
Yes, he wants to perform.
He just he just missed the masturbation poem.
You missed the jerking off poem. Sorry. Okay, so Lost in Thought.
So what? Okay, so I'm gonna do a very covert move that only hosts know how to do. Watch this. This is stealthy. Learn from the master. What's your name? What is it?
He can't hear you.
Gamari. See, I asked him that 3 times because that's what masters do. So.
Well, while you're up here being majestically awkward, I'll go sit down.
So, I'm gonna top myself here. Are you a new voice? Have you been here before? Nice.
From where?
Wow.
Oh, we have somebody on the phone from North Carolina. You might know him. No, just kidding.
Yeah, we're streaming also live, and you can't see them, but I have some folks online live from home too, so they can see and hear what's going on here.
Hey guys online, say hi.
Hi.
And
Hi.
Greensboro.
Hi, what's
Just
hold on. I'm sorry. I should have written it down. What is your name again? Gamari. Yes.
What part of North Carolina are you from?
all of it?
Right, I live in the entire state. Huh? Greenville.
Wow. Greensboro.
Greensboro. He's from Greensboro.
Oh.
There you go.
And well, that's where you're from, though, right? Reginald, that's where you're at, right?
That's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm actually from Winston-Salem, which is next door to Greensboro.
Oh, wow.
That's where I was born.
Nice.
So you got some homies in the house.
Okay.
Rolling with the homies.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, you can be so far away, and yet somebody from your hometown is here. And also, I don't know how many people I've met from Chicago here, at the same time.
Yeah. And Australians like your record.
Australians too, yeah. Though, as they may be. No, I'm just kidding.
So,
Come on.
as I'm professionally getting on my phone and professionally unlocking it and professionally looking at the name. So,
It says it.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we may have jumped the gun. I guess he's not ready to perform today.
He just wants to see how it's done.
Okay.
We got Birdman. We got.
Actually, we're not even sure if he's a poet. Maybe he's in a band or something. We just assumed that he was going to read. Okay, get up there.
Pounce upon him.
Remember we used to do that back in the old stage? With the garbage man would be outside getting the trash. We'd drag his ass in there and get him on stage, and he'd read. Well, I just happen to have something here in my pocket.
That's right.
Man, I missed that. That was cool. I haven't seen. I think that he comes on a different day now, because he used to come every Sunday during the show, and I haven't seen him in years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But oh well.
If you keep going, they'll come back. The whole cycle will return.
You're there. If we just keep knocking the trash can over and make a mess out there, then he'll probably come back.
It's trash.
So.
Yes. No. What's happening?
I don't know. Lane's standing there. I'm stalling for time here.
I'm just listening to Kamari and Hot Tamale speak. It's what pros do.
Yeah, but not when you're on stage.
Hey, don't question the pro.
Why don't you introduce Birdman, then I'll come with some old shit.
Yeah.
You too, Kamari.
So he just got down then. I can't hear you. He's a rapper.
He raps.
Oh, he'd have his tracks with him. Okay. Yeah. Well, see, if he would have had his tracks, I could have plugged him in.
Yeah.
You know. But maybe next week. Did you tell we'll be here next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be good.
Cool.
Okay, so let's continue with this. We've got 15 minutes. We're on the home stretch. Let's close this puppy out.
Got the homies.
Hello, my baby. Hello.
Wait,
That was 2 seconds.
wait, did Tom say herpes?
What?
No. Homies.
Homies.
What is it?
Homies.
Homies.
Homie, what is wrong? I thought Ernie was deaf. Jeez.
I was like, I don't understand.
Have you ever seen that meme that says, "Do not approach the sound engineer. He is deaf."
What?
I like that one. Which is not wrong, because see,
You got to be at least 105 dB or louder for me to hear you.
well, see the thing is though, if you come up to him and talk to him, he won't hear you, but he knows everything that is going on the stage.
I have selective hearing.
He really does.
When I'm working, I tune everything else out and I listen to what I need to be listening to.
I could be next to him, like flashing at him, and he'd be like, "Not now." I'm like, okay.
Whoa.
Well,
Later.
yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Okay, he'd tell me to cover up, and then he'd keep working.
That's a bit extreme example, but
What? It's
no,
true.
people will come up and talk to me, and
Especially if you're getting paid.
if I'm working, I'm working. That's my job. Oh God! And then I hit it. I don't mind answering. People come up and ask a question or two while I'm mixing, and that's fine. I get it. But then they stay there and they continue to talk to me and talk to me and talk. It's like, dude, I'm busy. Get the fuck away from me.
Hey, dude, can you play the Cupid Shuffle?
I don't say that, but
Although,
Can you play Cha-Cha Slide?
although I have to say,
Uh-oh.
when Hot Tamale talked about flashing, it made me think of an episode of The Golden Girls. Because there was an episode where Blanche was thinking about getting her breasts augmented, right? And she was she had all these pictures like on the coffee table, and she told Rose, these are what I'm thinking of getting. And Rose said, "Okay, Blanche, but do you really think black is your color?" And then later in the show,
Thank you for holding that until our guests left.
and then later in the show, right? Sophia came in. Sophia came in and started like there was some serious stuff going on. Then she was like, "It makes you ask so many questions in life. Where the road ends, what we're doing with our lives. Why are there 17 cents of Hudas on the coffee table?"
And yet the fourth session of crickets. Oh, Jacob, I was going to ask you real quick. Do you have a tape measure?
What?
Okay.
there might be one in the drawer there. There's a drawer. Well, there's a drawer there where we have tools
Okay,
and stuff.
in a minute, because I need to measure the length of something.
Well, give you a minute.
I was waiting
I'll be
for
right
you
there.
guys to get the wrong idea. That's why I was counting. No.
If Ernie had long enough, I
no.
wouldn't start laughing.
Well,
Okay,
well, okay.
and see, I did that on purpose. I found this skull wallet chain, and I want to get it to replace this one, and I needed to see how long my old
What?
chain is. That's it.
Hey.
I was just waiting for the dirty minds to start. Dance, puppets, dance.
Track mind, it's a dirt track.
Well, I think I'd be overqualified for that. It's, you know,
Okay.
I deal in yards.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, so should we close it down?
Unless anyone
while
wants
we
to-
still have anybody interested?
Unless anyone wants to go one more
Tom,
time.
do you want to close us out?
Oh, what about Birdman and Reggie?
Yeah, I think we were going to do one more round, and
Oh, okay.
Well, did Reggie? I think Reggie. Did you say you only had two? Those last two pieces. Didn't you say they were your last two, or?
No, I have some more.
Okay.
Yeah,
I noticed you changed your background to join us here at Kickbutt.
exactly.
So let's
Yeah, but we're not in the background, so.
hear it from Tommy Baby.
Tommy Baby.
Tommy, baby? Boy, all you need is chest hair and a medallion.
Okay, it's a colorful time, and there's some color therapy for us. This is not a time for red. Yes, Republicans, fires, rage, impassioned rhetoric, burning down cities and inflaming old wounds. This is a time for sky blue and sea blue, not blue rights nor any more blues. Time for deep meditations, calm adaptation. This is also time for greens, vegetables, Green New Deal, environmental actions and awareness so necessary in our wounded world. Healing indigo, magenta, fuchsia may assist us to feel the power of flowers and bark flower remedies. Why we really need old growth forests, national parks and wilderness to restore our balance in this acidified ossification. We also need the solidarity of rainbows after storms when hurricanes hit, making homeless and horror. The sign of all colors combined is more than an augury. It affirms our peace, tranquility, healing, and happiness. White is not a color. Black admits of many shades. More colors exist than in our optical color range. We need to see more, be more colorful in these racially charged days. Inclusion a beginning, respect for all colors and shades a necessity, reparations are also necessary. Fly your personal colors. Let the indigo children and the rainbow generation play. For us, with us, a woman, a yeah. Come back, hosts. It's birthday. Still to go? Oh,
They're moseying back up to the stage.
I believe
Boom, 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 ba-da-dum, boom, 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 ba-ba-ba, boom, 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 da-da-dum,
All right,
boom,
give it up
boom,
for
boom.
the ad-lib current event words of Tom Moonbird. So coming up
Or
next,
also known as Tommy Baby.
Tommy baby.
What the hell was that?
I swear that makes me think of the Bee Gees and their gold medallions and hairy chests.
I saw them.
Tommy baby.
No, it makes me think of like.
saw them.
It
In
make,
14 and 16, I saw the Bee Gees when they first came to Australia from Manchester.
Nice.
At the shopping centre in Chermside, where I lived. The Bee Gees with pimples.
Isn't
at a shopping center?
Isn't that when they still had Beatle haircuts?
They had like just past their ears. You know, it was the 60s, so
Yeah.
they were being very radical.
yeah.
You know, that was pretty wild, but they sang like angels.
But
together.
this was like
They-
before they got.
This was before they started going, ha, ha.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
There was Spicks and Specks and the mining disaster.
And I started a joke.
I started joking.
I love that song.
Great song, yeah. I started a joke.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, you stopped him.
I'm kidding.
Let him sing. I never heard Tom sing. I was about to say, wow, that's cool.
That is cool.
We all love Bee Gees. You know, they were really special. You know, my apologies, Birdman and Reggie, but it's part of our growing. You know, when you grow, you grew up with the Temptations and all those people. I grew up with Bee Gees and Beatles. You know, what can you do?
Right.
I swear, when I discovered the pre-disco Bee Gees, mind blown.
Has,
They
any,
are
has
wonderful.
has anybody ever seen the movie, the Godzilla movie, the one with Matthew Broderick?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
There's a scene. Remember what's the actor's name? Reno.
Jean Reno.
Jean Reno.
Oh God, he's a babe.
He's a French covert guy in the movie, and they need to get past his military checkpoint. So
He's hot.
So they all chew gum because it says it makes him look more American, and then he talks to the guard and he does his best Elvis imitation. All right, yeah, blah blah blah, and the guy buys it and they lets him pass.
Wow.
And then he looks over the Matthew Broderick character's looking at him, and it's like, what the hell? Where did that come from? He's like, Elvis, he was the king. Like even from where he was, Elvis, I love Elvis. He was the king.
Yeah. True. Birdman, the king now.
Yes. Okay. So Birdman, are you flying to the virtual stage?
Yes.
All right. Give it up for Birdman.
Yeah. See, this poem here, I read this article while I was at Corroboree. Well, we was online, and I wrote this poem while we was doing it, and it's about one of the greatest pop star singers.
Yeah.
And I changed the name to call it Regrets. Okay. You might figure out who it is at the end.
Okay.
I regret the limitation of my own imagination, feeling there is so much to prove. Never did anything that I was totally happy with. Struggles with confidence was and is sometimes my biggest downfall. The lack of satisfaction was more of a desire to be the best at whatever I was doing. Sometimes when I write, I do it with anger and disappointment. And other times, I try to think of pleasant times to write about. Sometimes afterwards, I feel like I wrote a great poem to go with an awesome video. Sometimes when I listen to or playing music, I do it with anger, passion, and pain, but I feel fantastic. Sometimes afterwards, I feel like when I have learned the chords for a solo and think of shooting a video. Disappointment is a part of life that comes from feeling that if you had made different choices, your life would have been better. I do regret the limitation of my own destination because of self-destruction and lack of confidence. Tell me who that is, Ernie B.
I'm sorry. I was.
Okay.
When my iPad's
Tell me who it is, a hot tamale.
Man, that was. Oh, shoot, sorry.
That was Michael Jackson.
I was gonna.
That's kind of. I was going either there or Mick Jagger.
I was thinking Michael Jackson even before you started reading that.
Michael Jackson. I put the poem part in there because I didn't want, that was part of what I was saying. But I read the article I was reading, and all, most of this, that's the picture I got because he's always said he never thought he reached his potential.
Wow.
He was a perfectionist. And so no matter how good it was, he always thought it could be better.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, before you started reading that, that's who I was thinking of, the way you described it. Because we were already talking about Elvis, the king. Well, what other king is there? The king of pop, They couldn't dub him the king because Elvis is Elvis, always, and always will be. Right. But they dubbed him the king of pop. Okay, we can accept that. And then weren't they kind of at the same time calling Prince the Duke of something, or he was starting to get a nickname too because they couldn't give him the king. But
David Bowie was the Thin Duke.
Yeah, true.
Thin White Duke. Thin White Duke. Thank you, Tom.
Cocaine use.
I've been reading articles on because Michael Jackson, Prince has always been my favorite, and I read an article. I read some article. I looked at some videos. Man, Prince was you talking about, he had his little feminine ways, but hey, it went with the way he acted and way he treated people. Prince was, I don't think a lot of people could have dealt with him now. It had to be the ones that knew him, that grew up around him. Those were the ones that could deal with him. Right now, I don't think a lot of musicians could have dealt with him.
There was I've told this story before. I used to subscribe to this magazine called Mix Magazine, for audio engineers. And every month they'd have a question in there, what's your favorite mixer? or what's your favorite type of equipment or whatever, right? And the next following month they post the results and then they ask a new question. So one month they ask a monitor engineer is the sound guy that works, on stage behind the band that takes care of what the musicians hear on the stage, right? Mm-hmm. He's not mixing for the crowd; he's mixing for the actual band.
For the band.
And they asked the question: who would you be more nervous mixing for, doing monitors for? And they had like Paul McCartney, I don't know, Elton John, I don't know, and somebody else, and Prince. And the following month, like 91% came back Prince. That they'd be more intimidated by working for Prince than anybody else. Because they knew how perfectionist he was. I mean, you could go almost say he was an asshole, but it's not that he's being an asshole. He just wants it right. It's got to be like this.
And he played every instrument, so he knew what it was supposed to sound like.
Yeah, he knew what everything sounded like.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I have his black. Well, I don't have the CD. I have it on my computer. That was his very first one he put out. He only released like I think was 12,000 of them, or 1,200 was only released, and it's hard to find. He played every instrument on that. And then I read an article the other day about the first guy, his bassist, and he was saying that, man, if you missed a chord or if you was late, he would find you. And he said he got hit up. He said one song they was on stage playing, and he said he did do it, and he said Prince kind of looked at him. He said when his paycheck came out, he was $1,200 short.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I missed that note. Fuck.
Yeah.
That was a $1,200 note.
If you made a mistake, even Morris Day, I seen a video, and Morris Day was saying, he said, that's the way Prince was. If you made a mistake, you paid for it.
Yeah, he wanted it perfect.
When he called you, you had to answer. He said, I don't care what time of day or night it is. And he said, if you didn't answer him, when you did get hold to him, he would find you.
Mm.
God damn.
There's a video floating around. I don't know if it's still out there or not, of Prince with his band with the Revolution at rehearsal, just rehearsing, and they're just there working on the song and stuff, and it just with the full band, and it's kind of cool, I mean, I haven't seen the whole thing, but I stumbled on it one time. And I was like, hey, wow, I've never seen this. It wasn't it wasn't an outtake from the movie or anything. No, it was a real rehearsal of him with his band, working with his band. And it's just a different way to see him, because he's working parts out with the band, and you get to a certain status, it's like, I mean.
You have to keep topping yourself.
You got to keep topping yourself, and then things are expected of the bands. Like the band better show up to rehearsal knowing their parts. He's not going to be there teaching them stuff. You know what I mean?
You know what Morris Day said? Morris Day said when they did Purple Rain, he said that Prince made. He said he walked up. He was talking to Prince. He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Heard you made 17 million." Prince said, "I don't know where you got that from." Morris Day said. He said, showed him the paper, and he said, I don't know how they figured that out. And he said, but you only paid me $50,000. And that $50,000 that he paid Morris Day, he had to pay everybody else, the band members, their transportation, their per diem.
Yeah.
Said, I have to pay all my band members out of this, and you made 17 million. Well, they said he was really something.
Oh, that Morris Day was like kind of hot, like upset, like, hey, you made 17 million and you only paid me 50?
Yeah.
50 grand? and minus, like you said, all he has to take care of his band and everything,
Yeah.
Crew personnel and whatnot, and there's not much left after that,
Right. Hotel, transportation, food. He had to take care of all of that.
So how much did Prince make?
They said it was 17 million he made off of Purple Rain.
But Prince was like saying, well, I don't know where you got that number.
Yeah, and then Morris Day said, hey, I got it from here. And whoever it was, they gave it to him because Morris Day was saying, I didn't know he made that kind of money. Because nobody knew how much he actually made from that money, from that movie, but somehow it got out.
Yeah, well, that's his prerogative. He's Prince. I mean, he doesn't have to tell people. He doesn't have to deny or confirm that, because quite frankly, it's nobody's business. I mean, that movie wouldn't exist without Prince.
I will say,
And I'm sure, even though Morris Day might have said that he didn't get that much from it, his record sales went up after that. Morris Day and the Time. I mean, just because of that movie.
I of course do love Prince. He's a legend. Always will be.
I'm hearing a butt in there.
Yeah, but I have a confession.
You jacked off to
Don't tell. No, it's God,
no.
Damn it.
Actually worse. I could never get into Purple Rain.
Get the fuck off my stage now!
I'm
sorry, it's just.
Oh man.
Yeah, I guess it could have been a lot worse.
But like,
I thought he was going to say I had a Prince poster on my ceiling or something.
Wait.
And every night I would.
The song or the movie?
The movie.
Okay, I can feel you there because honestly, I do watch the movie and I love the musical sequences and stuff in the movie. I just don't like some of the movie behind it because I think Apollonia is a trifling bitch, but that's just me.
And the movie just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
It did and it didn't. It did and it didn't.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I get that it was about his life, and I know he had a rough childhood and whatnot.
He was a small guy. He wasn't that. He was a little.
Yeah.
Oh God! Even in high heels, I was taller than him.
Yeah.
Him wearing the high heels, not me.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger's 5'2".
Yeah.
What? Wait!
It's a lot of singers. A lot of singers are
5'2"?
small. Ronnie James Dio was a little guy. In fact, one of his first bands was called Elf because he was so small. They called the band Elf. And and it's funny, and you see him on TV or in pictures or on the album cover, and you think they're larger than life, and then in real life it's just this little pipsqueak, like
Right. But we got Reggie.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. I know. I see Reggie there
wow.
patiently waiting. He's like, "Is this guy's gonna talk about Prince for another hour?"
So
I know Ernie and Birdman.
So coming up next,
At least it's interesting.
we have the very powerful stylings
And
Bring it-
inimitable.
Yes, bringing us back to the forefront. Let's hear it for Reggie Goodwin.
Woo! Reggie
Sporting
Goodwin.
his Franklin barbecue T-shirt.
That's right, Austin.
Oh, so he waited in line.
This is some recent shit I wrote in December of last year.
Recent shit.
Recent shit.
At Kickbutt. Wow, good.
Yes, it's called Pascal's Prophecy. I actually performed it at Kickbutt too.
Yeah, I remember you.
Wow.
Adolf Hitler was a clown show. So much so, Charlie Chaplin, in one of his rare talkies, did a spoof parody documentary called The Dictator for laughs. So much so, Chamberlain, before Churchill, thought nothing about concessions, sold them as cool to British citizens because the person he thought he was dealing with was disturbed caricature fool. His brown shirts were barroom thugs, lugs semi-conscious enough to absorb every constant and vowel of his disjointed diatribes on AM talk radio. This ninth grade art school dropout had a faux halo as he harkened back to a mythical past when Germany was, quote, great again, arming for the next racial conflagration, harassing poets, scientists, intellectuals, disappearing Jews, gypsies, and homosexuals caught at the border. History does not repeat, but it often rhymes. Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, a quote that refrains, as we mark time at this moment in history, fascism, like fungus, is exponential. The gateway drug is the small things modern-day Chamberlains let you get away with. Utopia literally means nowhere place, as dystopias follow the second law of thermodynamics. The electronics transition from vacuum tubes to MOSFETs. Its information sharing got faster. The evolution to 140 characters was inevitable and well-suited for a demagogue that's read Adolf's speeches more than the Bible, resembles Damien Thorne more than Jesus, and not mistakenly has loyalty to no one, yet demands it to the self-destruction of his minions. George Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, heeding the warning of Albert Einstein and Leo Szilard, could only tearfully quote from the Bhagavad Gita, at the birth of the atomic age, if the radiance of 1,000 suns were to burst forth at once into the sky, it would be like the splendor of the mighty one. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Vote. Let not apathy be our epitaph.
Yep, I remember that.
Woo!
Yeah.
Written that Kickbutt. Wonderful.
Hell yeah.
I'm always afraid because oh yes, let's hear it for Reggie.
Reggie.
Ah, yes.
Woo!
Vote.
Reggie rocks.
I actually did register because I changed addresses, but I haven't gotten the card yet. So I keep seeing these things to register. I'm thinking, man, I hope it didn't do something wrong.
Just take your ID with you because maybe the card might get mixed up in the mail. But
Talk in the microphone.
oh, I'm sorry. Take your ID with you because you might not have your card, but they might have you registered before you get the paper card.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of Hitler, has anyone seen that movie Jojo Rabbit?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yes, I've seen it.
I really want to see that
It's
movie.
a good movie, right?
I have not seen it yet.
It's awesome.
What's the name of it?
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit.
It's about a little boy that has Hitler for an imaginary friend.
Yeah, you got to see it. It wasn't what I expected. It was much more. It was much more. I was like, wow.
Because it's a New Zealand director, and the New Zealand director is in the film.
You know,
yeah, he's the one that plays Hitler.
really.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of, whenever someone mentions New Zealand films, I always think of one of my favorite horror movies, because it was a New Zealand-made horror movie called Black Sheep, and it was about killer sheep.
That's right. They make good horror movies, New Zealand, because it's so peaceful there. They have to go into the dark side.
Yeah, well,
Oh, and Tom.
when all they have is yin, they got to go to the yang sometimes.
Oh, and Tom is that also makes me think of Zoe Bell. She's got a line in Death Proof where she says, "Never call a Kiwi an Aussie."
That's right. You never dare, because both sides don't like it.
Because somebody's going to throw down.
You don't do that.
I love that line. I like it because Zoe just, what you mean by that, mate? And the girl was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get fucked up."
That's right.
It's weird, and it's hard, like for people like with bands, but more so like for comedians. And you've seen this because you like to watch Fluffy. When you go to different countries, humor's different sometimes. You know.
It is.
And what works in the States,
Australia.
yeah, what works in the States might not work in Australia, or might not work in Egypt, or wherever they might end up, and if I guess
he said about Australia, he says, the reason I like Australia is that you people don't hold anything back.
Yes,
You
you've seen that one.
That was really good. They loved him because he loved Australians. He understood them. Piss takers, party boys and girls.
Yes.
They really liked him because he was straight down the line.
Yeah, some of the more professional guys early, or I guess if they just have the time to do it, they try to find out a little bit about the local terminology, the
And
local
culture.
to relate to the people,
And they relayed back. It was just wonderful to see how much they loved him.
Tom. Hey, Tom. Oh, he's crying. It must taste like gravy.
That's right.
I love that. Oh, my God.
That's a good line. That's really good.
I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. You know that commercial, right? The commercial for Foster's. And they would say, Foster's, Australian for beer.
Australia for beer.
But before that, they would always present a situation, like for the meaning of a certain Australian word, of a certain word they say in Australia, and then they say Australian Foster's for beer. Well, there is one that they did not play enough because it was just so funny, and they displayed a certain situation of what it meant in Australian, and it was this woman. It was this woman tossing a guy out of a few saloon doors, and as the doors were swinging closed, she was standing there and with her hands on her hips, and all it said was no, and it said, Foster's, Australian for beer.
But isn't
see, also Fluffy said that he found out very quickly that Foster's isn't Australian for beer because the bartender was like, "Oh, you like drinking piss?"
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Isn't Foster's like shit beer?
Yeah.
It was really bad beer, especially the export stuff. Everyone said
there you go.
Australia.
They do brew it differently in different countries, like Budweiser or even like Coca-Cola or anything in different countries. It's different.
Like Guinness in Ireland is very.
Hell yeah, Guinness.
Yeah, Guinness is great in Ireland, but you have it in another country. It's what is this? You know?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be legendary brew. Anyway, we've all done that. So you're going to take us out, or we're going to say something before we go?
Now, me and Birdman are going to talk about like some funk.
Well, one thing I was going to say, I'm not sure if Tom remembers this or not, but there was I think it was a movie. I think it had an Australian star, but it was about a guy that made his own beer. But the movie was called Young Einstein.
Yes.
Oh, Yahoo Serious.
Yeah, Yahoo Serious. He was a very bright guy.
Yeah.
Never saw that one.
Okay, is that it?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
Catch up on because it's really good. It's really good. It's an unusual film. Well done, Lost in Thought.
Okay, Tom, would you like to close us out before I do the
one last thing since we've been talking a little bit about movies. Full Metal Jacket is now available in 4K.
Oh my God. Anyway.
So.
Tom, would you like to close us out?
Yeah, I'd love to. Well, folks, a lot of us live in the past, but Kickbutt right here and right now has decided to go into 5K, 4G, live, as well as taped and recorded. So what you're listening to is a time capsule of the past, the present, and the future. When you play this back, it will look like the past. But right now, there's living on the present on stage. You have Lost in Thought, true to his name. You have Ernie B playing the game. And you have Hot Tamale on stage in front of a microphone sitting on a stool. That's live. Not stool in the bad sense, but stool as in the sitting on the stool. This is the poetry of now. This is rhyming like a rhyming limey. And the background for Reggie is the old Kickbutt when there was no one on the stage. But you are now on the magnificent, sacred stage of Spoken and Heard at Kickbutt on a Sunday night, which is 11 years in the making, was the greatest epic ever done until the next epic next Sunday night. Thank you and good night.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah, so should I do the thing?
The Rhymy Limey.
Let's do the ting.
Well, the rhyming limey is still in the motherland, so we gotta wait to see him next year.
Maybe. Well, no, maybe.
Next year.
He's on Zoom.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the thing you have been witness to the baddest open mic in the ATX. Spoken and Heard live every Sunday night at Kick, but coffee, music, and booze. It's not just an open mic, it's a show, not a show without each and every one of you, including you, Reggie. Thank you and good night.
That doesn't sound anything like it.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Don't make fun of the talent.
Okay, good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Lost in Thought. Thank you, Reggie. And thank you, Birdman.